Hello, hello. Am I clearly audible? I'm asking that. And is my handsome face clearly visible? Abhi, now not answering. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to lecture number 1, CA into direct tax. You have not studied direct tax before, right? Any graduate here? You have studied direct tax before. And what you have studied? in your third year BCom, I think you have direct tax as a subject, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. What you have studied, you also know, and I also know very well. Okay. So welcome all the students attending offline. Welcome all the students attending online, and also welcome to those who will later buy these recordings also. काफी फैला हुआ काम. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the first lecture will be majorly in the nature of introduction. There are so many things that you need to understand before we actually start the subject, and therefore today's lecture will predominantly be in the nature of introduction. There are certain points in my introduction. Screen is visible, right? So yes, first lecture, CA Inter Direct Tax. This batch, while is being conducted for the attempt of May 2025, the same lectures will also be applicable for any student attending September 25 or January 26. Taxation laws in our country change every year. But if you observe carefully, all these attempts fall in the same year. Some are like, no, sir, this is 25, this is 26. So they are not in the same year. They are in the same year. Because in India, for taxation purposes, finance purposes, accounting purposes, we do not follow calendar year system. We follow financial year system. Financial year starts from 1st April, ends on 31st of March. No, they all fall in the same year. So the taxation law applicable to all these three attempts will be same. If there is any change, it will happen in May 26, which also means that the tax that was taught to the previous batch, we started the batch for November 24 actually, because earlier it was May and November. But somewhere in the middle of the batch, institute made an announcement that okay, now foundation and inter will happen thrice a year, and therefore we had the September attempt, which no one gave because November students were not prepared by that time. September attempt was given only by those students who could not clear the May attempt. The September results were horrible. They had to be horrible. You have to understand the reason behind that. May 24 institute gave excellent results. Never heard before results. And those students who could not clear May 24 gave September 24. So please discount that attempt. Don't count that as an attempt. After the change in syllabus, the first attempt will take place. That is next month. We are in the month of December. So January 25, we'll definitely get to see far better results, both at inter and in fact final CA results are expected very soon. In fact, this is the fastest they have announced for the final CA results. First time we are getting results in the month of December itself, 25th December. So last result came one day before Diwali to spoil people's Diwali. Now they are giving results one day before, on the day of Christmas. So now they will spoil people's Christmas also. But you all are the worst or the least affected people will assert well with it, sir. Thankfully, we are not expecting any result as of now. Okay, none of you will give September attempt foundation anyone. So all of you will be given the May 25 attempt. Inter में there is no June attempt, bro. तो वही है ना दुर्योधन. You are that, no? वही है ना. हाँ. I thought I have seen you somewhere. You've seen me before. I don't look the same. Okay. Huh. So the same lectures will be applicable for these three attempts. Am I very clear? Today's lecture, as I said, will be majorly in the nature of an introduction. Let us start with the first point, introduction of the faculty himself. See, you should be knowing who is teaching, whether you are in safe hands or no. You already know. Kya? What do you know? My name. क्या है my name? बस. Wow. Achievement, bro. Big achievement. Okay. Fantastic. Let's discuss something beyond that now. Okay. It is not Siddharth Surana. It is CA Siddharth Surana. Do I look like one? Okay, wait. 140244 membership number with ICAI. In one of my chapters, I will show you my membership I card also as an example. They grant us membership ID the moment we enroll as members after clearing CA final, after completing articleship. You have to sign your membership form. You become members of ICAI. Then they give you a photo identity card similar to a credit card. Membership number. So your WRO number or those attending online, your SRO number, they are temporary, bro. This is permanent. As long as, of course, you are paying your annual membership fees, this is going to be permanent. So whether I look like one or no, yes, this is my membership number. I am a qualified chartered accountant. I am 22 years old. I'm 22 years old. Plus 14 years of teaching experience. So you can count it that way, whatever arithmetic you understand. I became a CA at the age of 23. Actually, I became a CA at the age of 20, 2011, May 2011. But I am teaching since 2010. So while I was August 2010 to be specific, while I was studying for CA final, I was actually also teaching CA final students. Some are like, it is not possible, bro. I did it, so it is possible. I was teaching CA final students when I was a CA final student. So 13 years as a chartered accountant, 13 plus in fact, 14 plus years as a teacher. Roughly 40 to 50,000 chartered accountants of the country have been my students out of 4 lakh chartered accountants. So you can say that's, more than 10%, 12% CAs of the country have been my students. We are 4 lakh in number, roughly 4 lakh. Last few months ago, a number was released. It was 397, and then only 2 attempts have happened since. So we have just crossed the 4 lakh mark in a population of 150 crores. We are only 4 lakh. There is acute shortage of chartered accountants in the country. Acute means, believe me, 75 years of ICAI, we are only 4 lakh. ICAI president on record publicly has said we need at least 25 to 30 lakh chartered accountants in the next decade. Considering how everything is digitalized, considering how we do not have the cash economy anymore, considering the lowest income earning people are now also coming under taxation compliance requirement, company compliance requirements, etc. And for everything you will need a chartered accountant. Therefore, the coming time is going to be really, really good. Believe me, you all are doing C at the best possible time ever, because here ICAI wants to now pass people in wholesale. And believe me, don't count September 24 attempt. See, discount that attempt. I already told you. 30% result was May 24. I don't know whether you are aware of the numbers. And you believe me, you are going to expect a similar number in January also. Golden period to pursue this course, because in wholesale they have to give you your successful results. Okay, so yes, 14 years of teaching, 13 years as a chartered accountant. I have been the first person in India to do the following. I started, everyone else only followed this. I did this first in India to take online live lecture. Now I still even today have some students attending online live. Those who are comfortable with the timetable are the only people who attend online live. Of course, those who are not comfortable, then later go for the recordings. The recordings are always available. Online live lecture. You all must be aware of concepts called Instagram live. Your generation knows it. Stop calling yourself Gen Z if you don't. You're Gen Z, right? No, millennial. Anyone born after 1997 and up to 2005 is considered as itna, and after 2005-6 it is Gen Alpha. So we calendar wise millennials, but all my students always tell me, sir, you are more Gen Z than the Gen Z themselves. मैं वो इंस्टा बायो में आई more Gen Z than the Gen Z themselves. But it is my students who tell me that. It is not a statement that I have made for myself. So you all know Instagram Live, you all may be aware of YouTube Live. There was a time when we used to have only Facebook Live. There was no YouTube Live. Instagram was not even, popular. No one was aware of it. I have taken in Facebook Live lecture as early as 2017. I was the first in India who actually started selling recorded lectures. First person in the country. As early as, recording culture came after COVID. People have started recording their lectures. In fact, every organization I work with, I told them that you have to record your lectures, you have to provide that, because now if you want to survive, it is no longer about how good your teachers are. Once upon a time, the only thing that was relevant was good teachers, nothing else. We used to tell our teacher that you teach us at the other railway station, any railway station, we are ready to learn over there also. But now times have changed. People want good infrastructure. People want everything. Whether they use it or no, that's a secondary matter. But they want everything. So yes, recorded lectures everyone is doing post-COVID. I recorded my first lecture in 2013. As early as 2013, I am selling. We used to sell DVDs, which can be copied on any hard disk. Now these days, laptops don't have CD drive. We moved to pen drive. After COVID, we moved to Google Drive. Because pen drives also, sending them to the student was difficult. Now the only thing that we dispatch courier is hard copy of books. Lectures are also provided on Google Drive. In fact, you have to change with time. Now I have launched my own app also. All the students who buy my recorded lectures watch my lectures on the app itself. If I have to provide any free material, like any PDF I want to give, any amendment sheet I have to give, any revision and amendment lectures, things have become so easy. Once upon a time, we used to upload the PDF on Telegram and the videos on YouTube, because Instagram videos are only short videos under 1 minute. If we have to upload longer videos of 3-4 hours, we had to use YouTube as a platform. We don't need any of that. Okay, one part of the lecture or first 5 lectures may be only for marketing purposes. Otherwise, everything is available on the app itself. I was the first one who started this as early as 2013. No one was aware of what is recording. People have started this only after COVID. I have taken lectures in every part of the country. North, mein, South, mein, 4 to 5 months. I'm born and brought up in Mumbai, or thoda flex, South Mumbai, or South Bombay as we call it. Sobo. I am a Sobo boy. Born and brought up in Mumbai, in South Bombay. But 3 or 4 months in a year, I used to stay out of my house, Ahmedabad, Kerala, Andhra. I've taken good number of lectures, and first time I went and took a lecture in Kerala. First time. I understood one thing, that people over there do not understand Hindi at all. You either speak with them in English or you use Malayalam. Believe me, I actually learned 20% Malayalam. Any Malayalis? I actually learned 20%. And of late, a lot of Tamil Nadu students are also joining online. So I'm actually learning a little bit of Tamil as well. But Malayalam I have learned. Namaskaram, Cheta. Believe me, so you have to always be involved with the audience. And I have Rajasthani Marwadi blood in me. I saw an opportunity there as well. That teachers of North India are really good, but they are very poor when it comes to communication in English. I am from South Mumbai. And teachers of South are good as far as the language is concerned. They can talk in English. In fact, they can talk to the students in the local language also. But with due respect to them, not very good as far as the subject is concerned. So if there is someone who knows both subject as well as language, so well, 2 language lectures ka concept. One will be Hindi English mix and another will be only English. I started today, everybody is doing it. Like exclusive English lecture for South Indian students. Just ask them, where did you get this idea from? I started this. So there are so many things that I started as a teacher in CA coaching. Other people have only followed these things. Apart from that, I am also an author. I write annually 7 books on direct tax. 5 books I write on direct tax for CA final students, and 2 books for CA intermediate students. Of course, these 2 books will also be given to you. I think some of the students have already received the first book. Second book is near completion, so you'll get it. And the offline students, I think, have not received the first book also. Today's lecture is an introduction. After today also, at least 2 lectures, I have to only teach you things. And I need the book only when I have to solve questions. Other than that, I don't touch the book at all. So first question I will be solving only in the 4th lecture, not before that. By that time, hopefully the books will arrive here. So don't worry about that. But I'll tell you about these 2 books, which I am going to give you in more detail. This is about me. I like to say a lot of good things about myself always. So at the first available opportunity, I will be doing that. Apart from that, stating that I am very young and handsome is not required, because that is obvious, that is visible. I don't have to, you don't have to state what is obvious. You don't have to say what is clearly visible. You have to say only things which people are not aware of. Now, anything which is clearly visible, I don't have to speak about that, sir. Yes, there are people who tell me, sir, it does not look like you have spent 14 years, sir. You don't look so. Yeah, Aadhaar card, I'll show you. No, of course, as I clearly told you, Aadhaar card pe you are me divided by 2. Aadhaar card pe you are me divided by 2. Other than Aadhaar card, physically, mentally, emotionally. Physically, chalo, let's run a race. Let's enter into any sports competition, wrestling or cricket or anything. Let's see who wins. Nahin, nahin, don't even want to try. Bola, sir, last time we, when did we play any sport? We don't remember. Last we remember so many months we are only attending lectures. And still far from over. So, okay. So you are not arguing with me. So we conclude that I am more Gen Z than the Gen Z. Fantastic. Next point in my introduction, if you observe, my introduction is point by point. So yes, first was about myself. Second, I want to, because I spoke about it, I directly want you to understand study material. I am going to be giving you 2 books. Book 1 is our class theory and question answer. So in that also theory we don't need, because Income Tax Act, Control C, Control V. The whole Income Tax Act is copied and saved, stored here. I don't need it. I will need only when I solve these questions. And then book 2 is still not complete. It is near completion. Very soon it will get done, and you don't need that book also. Right now, this book is my additional question bank and MCQs. So I do have the first book ka PDF with me. If you observe, this is your book. Right now you may not understand, but of course these are your chapters: basic concept, residential status. We have these chapters: income from salary, house property, etc. While the index appears to be very big, oh my god, sir, 34 topics in the index. Wait, sir, wait, please. Your first book gets over. This is your book 1. We have only 18 chapters in our syllabus. This is your book 1. Within the book, of course, there is theory, there are questions. We will use the book only when we have to solve the questions. This is your book 2. See, I have printed the index of book 2 also in book 1, but this will be printed separately. And when this page goes in printing, whether I print only this much index or I print the full index, the printer charges me same amount. He counts number of pages. So just that the first index also should be there in the book that is coming to you. And this is your, if you observe carefully, this book gets over at 257. And only your additional question bank is 258 to 451, almost the same size. After that, if you observe all your recent RTPs, and abhi, this is an incomplete index because January 25 RTP is also released. That will also be incorporated in the book. The entire study material, ICAI study material, you pick it up, randomly open any page, randomly, like you used to play book cricket in school. There will be questions at the end of the chapter. There will be illustrations within the chapter. Show me one question in ICAI study material, old course ka study material, which is now removed because from May 24 we have new course, or the new course ka study material. When the new course came, I scanned through that new syllabus ka study material also. Chapters in direct tax have not changed. So most questions were same, but there were new questions. They were also incorporated. I give openly this as challenge to all the students across the country. If there is one question anywhere in ICAI study material which is not there in my book, I will pay you for that. Show me one question. Show me. We don't ask, sir. I know you are more anxious about, sir. No, I don't have to answer that question because you are not going to find any question. There is not a single question in ICAI study material, whether subjective questions or objective MCQ, 30% of your paper. Not a single question. You find one question, I will pay you for that. Apart from that, other than this, see, additional question bank and this new study material will contain that. Can you observe all the RTPs, and this index will further increase because Jan 25 will also be incorporated. Recent exam question papers, mock test papers. This second book is for your practice. You often, students, as students, you have doubts, sir. Okay, whatever you have taught in class, we have understood. The questions that we solve, the chapters contain questions here also. 50% questions I will be solving as a part of these chapters. And this is the second half. Sir, you have this question in every subject. Are we supposed to do anything over and above this? Sir, any other material that we have to refer? Any other question that we have to practice? I cannot comment about other subjects, but as far as direct tax is concerned, if you solve this full book, because this first book, I will only solve with you in class. If you solve the second book, you do not have to touch a single other material other than this. Everything at one place. You should open ICAI study material to verify my claim. Sir, I am saying every question is covered. What if I am giving false information? Possible. First lecture, you will have trust issues. They will go away gradually. But first lecture, you will have trust issues. And don't worry, they will get removed as early and as soon as possible. But to verify the claim, you need to open. Once you are convinced, you don't need anything. Solve this book. Bro, you will die solving. The questions will not get over. And mark my words, die. No one cares. You have not done anything in life. No one cares. Other than your parents, no one is going to cry, not a single tear. He or she also know. No, not a single drop of tear for you, other than parents, of course. No one can match them. Or rather, prove to the world that you have something in you. Show your success to the world. No one respects people who are failures. For getting respect also, you have to first be successful. I am not talking about monetary success. Money is a momentary thing. One day you will have, another day you will not have. There will be ups and downs. But when I am talking about success, I am talking about respect. And you have probably already seen, the moment you tell anyone that I am doing CA, you are not yet a CA. What have you done? Foundation. Bro, foundation is 12th standard. 80% of 12th standard syllabus comes in CA foundation. There is only that 20% extra, little bit in law, and maybe if you have not taken maths in 12th. And I know some are thinking, sir, we have not done that also. We have done graduation. We are direct entry. You have done nothing in CA. But still, the moment you tell people you are doing CA, have you observed the way they look at you? The change in their eyes, the reaction of people. CA? Very difficult person. Of course it is difficult. So you don't get respect by doing easy things. No one gets. Okay. Yes, we'll talk more about it, but these are the two books. The index is of both books. First book we will need every day in class. First book you have to carry every day to class. Second book you can't be solving right now. It is not ready. See, if you observe, I have completed till here, but this is still going on. So this will be there. Then I will be adding this. Then January 25 ka RTP also I will add. Then MCQs. Now that book will get over. So it will be issued to you. In any case, even if I give it today, you're not going to solve the questions today itself. We have to first study something, not to solve questions. So by the time you reach that stage where you are in a position to solve those questions, you will get them. Don't worry about it. Okay, these are the two books that will be given to you, and I say it one more time: whether descriptive, subjective question where you have to write the full answer, or objective. Objective means MCQ. Whether subjective or objective, you will not find a single question which is not covered here. You do not have to touch any other book for your practice. For your practice, you'll die solving questions. Will not get over. I'm telling you. Have you all understood? Second point of my introduction, the study material. Fantastic. Third point of my introduction. I know that you are studying for CA intermediate since a few months. If I am not wrong, July, it's been almost 5-6 months since you all are studying for CA inter. Yes. Some have cleared foundation also. There will be some foundation. I realize most of you all are direct entry students, but there will be some foundation students also. You already have a little idea about what the CA course is, but there are a few things that you probably are not aware even now. I'll share a little bit with you. By the way, those who have cleared foundation in the June 2024 attempt, you have more respect than even CA inter and final cleared students, because I am sure you are aware it was 15% passing. So inter and final was best in history and foundation was worst in history. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Huh. But still foundation ka syllabus, believe me, comparatively is very, very easy, because foundation covers your 12th ka syllabus, majorly your 12th standard syllabus. CA inter is the game changing course. How CA inter is going to affect the rest of your life, that I'll tell you in point number 4, that is CA inter. First CA course, then CA inter, then little bit discussion about what is taxation in general, what is taxation in the life of a chartered accountant, and then we start our subject. This is how the introduction is going to be flowing. So first the CA course. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure, considering so many months you've spent, and every day you must be having at least 7-8 hours of lectures. Yes, fast, instant. Yes. And by now you are sick and tired of your life. Well, sir, what kind of life is this? Sir, why, sir? We don't feel we are even human beings. This is the best decision of your life. Today you are going to cry, I am telling you. 8 hours in one day. That also, I think 4 hours you have tax today, and then next 4 hours offline students, you'll have accounting standards. Achha, accounts, not accounting standards. There will be certain days when you will have 4 hours tax, 4 hours accounting standards, maybe 4 hours audit and 4 hours law, 4 hours IDT. And bro, if I were in your place, I will eat poison and die. 8 hours of such heavy subjects. You must be, wondering every day, yeah, life hai, sir. And this feeling is going to increase day by day for the next 5 years. The next 5 years are going to be the toughest years of your life. Clearing CA inter is not going to be an achievement. Clearing CA inter is going to be the worst nightmare coming to you. That is your CA final plus your articleship. Yes, of course, of late Institute has done every possible thing to make this course easy, good. How? Sir, they have reduced number of papers at inter and final. We used to give 8 papers. 8 and 8. Now you have only 6 and 6. Articleship, I have done 3.5 years. 3 years, nahi, my Aadhaar card age. No. 3.5 years. We had CPT, PCC and final. Then they changed it to CPT, IPCC and final. Then they brought foundation, inter final. Inter final had 8 papers. And now it is foundation, inter and final with 6 papers. And articleship only 2 years. I am 4 courses before you. Arey bro, your age into 2, no. I am 4 courses before you. So articleship period ka reduction. Plus they give you a time gap between articleship completion and your CA final. Which is going to that way make CA final a little comfortable for you, easy for you, because you'll get a total of 3 years. But here there is a problem, because the problem is that when students clear CA inter, they're like, sir, now I have 3 years for final. Then they waste 2 years. They think 3 years, so they waste 2 years. Then there is only 1 year, because 3 minus 2 is 1. You can check on your calculator. And then in 1 year, they have to study full CA final. That is where CA final becomes difficult. If you plan from day one, no. The day you clear your CA inter exam, start your CA final preparation there itself. Because you have to do articleship, you have to complete 2 papers, self-paced online module. I don't know whether you are aware of that. Costing and law, you have to study by yourself and give that online exam. First 2 subjects, accounts and FM, FRFM, they don't undergo any amendment. You can start learning them in the first year itself. In the second year, you can complete your SPR, and in the third year, direct tax, indirect tax, because they do change. Taxation law, as I said, I started by saying taxation laws change every year. If you plan perfectly, you can actually make CA final easy. But inter, unfortunately, does not grant that much time. Because in inter, your total gap is 1 year. Earlier, it used to be 9 months only, because June foundation and May inter, December foundation, November inter. Now, thankfully, you have at least 1 year. But still, in 1 year, you have to finish your coaching classes, which go on for at least 7-8 months. Then you have to do your self-study of those subjects, because how much you remember from the first lecture, you and me both know. Then you have to write your test papers. The biggest mistake of a CA student. You tell me to list the mistakes, I can list them 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But the number one mistake is lack of writing practice. If you have not practiced on a blank piece of paper, you are unfit for CAs. Revision or study does not mean that, sir, I have picked up the class notes. I have picked up the question answer. I went through them, sir. I am understanding. No. When you will solve by yourself, you will make mistakes. The correct way and the only way is blank page and pen and write. Get stuck, write wrong. Write whatever you know and mark the places where you have gone wrong. Is the only way. And number one mistake. I can share other mistakes also, but today is not the right time. Yes, the next 5 years are going to be very, very difficult, because you have to study, then you have to manage your self-paced modules, then you have to, in fact, after clearing inter, things will become more difficult, because CA final is a very, 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 very difficult course. And if your base, because most of the subjects of CA final are first time taught to you at inter. You know, one big mistake which a lot of students I see making is that where they study 11th, they study 12th. 12th and foundation syllabus is same. 80% same. Anybody who is fit to teach you 12th, anybody who is good in 12th may possibly teach you foundation also. But here you have to draw a line. Students make the mistake of continuing inter at the same place where they studied foundation. Not everyone who can do this can actually do this, because CA inter, CA final. This is where you have to draw the line. This syllabus is same, but subjects like audit, law, direct tax, indirect tax, costing, financial management, you've never studied before. Law may be a little bit in foundation, but direct tax, indirect tax, costing, FM, audit, never. And what if I tell you, these are only the subjects which come at an advanced level. If your base is weak here, CA inter is the game changer. If your base is weak, you are going to always have difficulties, not just in CA final exam, but your career also. Because somewhere in one of these subjects only you are going to make your career. Sir, why CA is the best possible decision, but provided you take your CA inter seriously. So CA inter is my point number 4. Why CA is the best decision? There is a proverb in Sanskrit, na bhuto na bhavishyati. Past, present, future. There was never, there is not, and there will never be a course in commerce better than Chartered Accountancy. Sir, is it very difficult? Of course it is difficult. You never hear me saying it is easy. Nonsense statement, anyone who can say that CA is an easy course. Nonsense. वो वीडियो देख CID Abhijit. CID Abhijit, you don't. Someone said CA course is easier than 10th and 12th. Then CID ka Abhijit went and slapped him. You've seen that video? बकवास मत कर साले. नहीं? Okay. So all the boys, I'll share that link with you. Sorry. Boys talks. I know you amongst yourself do every dirty talk on the planet, but as a teacher, I cannot get involved in those talks. But you know, we always have those boys WhatsApp groups. No? I'll share it with them. Or maybe they have already seen, they are only not reacting. So, So listen, it is a difficult course. But what this course can do, no other course can. Guarantee. And I'll prove it to you. See, passing, failing, success, failure is one thing. Of course, we know that the number of students who fail in CA are more than those who pass. Because see, unless pass percentage crosses 50, obviously failures are more than successful. Of course. But even those who don't clear, CA will change their life. With this, you don't take this case of sir, acha matlab. Even if I don't clear it, is fine. No, that is what. No, 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 no. The knowledge that this course will give you is unparalleled. No other course. Open challenge to all those social media influencers who come up with nonsense videos. Don't do CA in 2024. Try these other courses. Bro, I commented from my official handle on that, my blue tick wala handle, that Didi, let's have a healthy debate. Didi, let's have a healthy debate about why there cannot be a course in commerce better than CA in front of your audience who support you. Will not fight, will not argue, will not be disrespectful. Will respect each other. You give your points, I give my points. Let audience decide. Your audience decide who is making more sense. Didi didn't reply. At least Didi should have blocked me. She didn't block me also. That Didi ka video also I will share. क्या है actually foreign courses like ACCA, CPA, CMA, these Dubai ka sheikhs etc. have infused millions, billions in terms of dollars, rupees nahi, to engage Indian commerce students in those foreign courses. A course like CPA, see, you want to shift and settle in America, then CPA makes sense. CPA is done by American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. If you want to settle in America, that's for you. If you want to settle in Gulf countries, you want to settle in Dubai, Malayalis generally do that only. They study, they get educated, then they go and settle in Dubai. You will find more Malayalis in Dubai than you find in Kerala. And there they talk in Hindi. In Kerala, they will not. Dubai, mein you don't go and speak to anybody in English. Because if you speak to them in English, they will reply in Hindi. Dubai is not foreign country. No. I believe Dubai has more Hindi speaking people than some Indian states. Every person you meet is either Indian or Pakistan. Every person. That's that one place where India and Pakistan are united. So if you want to settle in Dubai, no, their ACCA degree is useful. America mein CPA is useful. You want to do CMA, settle in UK, that's a different thing. You want to stay in India? Then there is no better course. In terms of statutory powers, if you make balance sheets, do you? That balance sheet is wrong unless under that balance sheet there is a signature and there is only one person who can sign that. And I am not saying this. Prime Minister himself said it, that you are the only person who is authorized or who is powerful enough to do that. Your signature is more powerful than my signature. I am not saying this. He said it. Signature. Modi ji ka. He said it. That's the statutory power. Whether any balance sheet, any profit and loss account, any audit report. You all have started studying little bit of company audit law. Law may you have that chapter, company audit? You have, but not yet started. Statutory audit is an audit that every company, once you are incorporated, limited company, joint stock company, every company has to undergo a mandatory audit. Whether you have any business or you don't have any business, you're profit making or loss making, and that audit report only one person can see. Company audit, tax audit, any financial audit, only one person is allowed. See, these are the statutory powers. So tell that Didi, is there any other course where you can sign and get paid for it? Didi ka argument will get over there itself. This is the statutory power. Okay. Second, the monetary investment. Today, one exam of CFA, one exam fee is 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh. Exam fee. Our exam fee is 2,000 rupees. Bro, if you count ICAI fees, no, from foundation to final, foundation registration, inter registration, final registration, and exam fees. Exam fees minimum 3. Maximum, no limit. That is up to you. You are the only person on this planet who has control over number of attempts. No one else, no one else, no one else. If you today write in your book, I will decide my number of attempts. If you tell yourself, May 25 is the last CA inter exam, after this CA inter exam will close down. Institute will not conduct any exam after May 25. I will clear and this attempt itself. No one else can decide. You are the only person on the planet who has the power to decide your own number of attempts. If you decide now, it is now. So minimum 3 exam fees still you have to pay. That total amount of 3 registration and 3 exam fees is less than the amount of stipend you'll get in 1 year. Article 6. 1 year, you are going to get 2 years. Of course, coaching classes, coaching classes are optional. Believe me, you can't do CA without that. So many free resources these days available. Go to YouTube here, there, but that approach is not proper because there will always be some. You may be lucky if you are able to clear like that with those free resources. Otherwise, you need proper structured coaching. Without coaching, you can't do so. But that is optional. And which coaching class to enroll and how much fee to pay, that is also your choice. You chose the best, irrespective of fees. That's a sensible decision that you have taken. But ultimately, coaching classes are optional. And institute ka fees less than 1 year article. 1 year, you're going to get for 2 years. It is less than 1 year ka article. So in terms of statutory power, Didi, no other course can match CA. In terms of monetary investment is so less. So mental, physical harassment will take place. But that is only for 5 years. After 5 years, when it can be less than 5 also, believe me, because May 25, if you give CA inter and your approach is correct, for May 28 will be your CA final exam. It is not even 5 years. After 5 years, I am counting 5 because the first couple of years after qualification also will be a little, unstable. You have to settle somewhere. You will explore multiple options, whether I make a career in auditing or taxation, or I go in finance, or maybe I want to pursue any additional degree. With CA, you don't need anything. But in case you want to pursue, sir, at least I should have something other than CA as a separate additional degree. You may always choose to do that. You will take a couple of years to settle somewhere. After that, there will be no looking behind. These days, a lot of influencers conduct also podcasts. They call teachers and ask them their monthly income. Nonsense. What kind of a breach of privacy are we inviting here? And the teachers themselves are declaring their monthly income. I'm not going to give any figure, but my income today is 10 times of what I used to earn as a newly qualified CA. 10 times of that. It takes time. With time, you will grow. Provided these 5 years you finish within 5 years. If you keep on failing, the 5 can become 10 also, 15 also. My recently completed CA final batch, I had a gentleman who is 62 years old, daughter is already a doctor, son is already a graduate, but he has to give CA final exam. See, that is in your control. You may take as much time as you want, but your minimum is May 25 and May 28. Financial investment very less. Statutory powers no course can match. And let's talk about knowledge. If there is any other course who can give you this knowledge now, I am ready to surrender my CA degree. I am ready to stop teaching. I'll tell you what this course and how this course can change anybody's life. Somewhere I have to remove that regret that you have in mind. Last 6 months you have been attending lecture for 8 hours and making so many compromises. Other people are attending family weddings, your friends are going out somewhere for a weekend, they are celebrating, but you are attending class. 5 minutes you come late, professor is going to now not leave you, bro. First lecture, whoever came late, let me be very clear. I'll come to that also later on. In my lecture, you cannot come late. I purposely started 5 minutes late. In my lecture, you don't have to come on time. You have to come before time. Write it somewhere, sir. Don't say we travel by train, public transport. Train start at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Catch one train prior to your daily schedule. My lecture, you cannot be 1 minute late also. I'll come to that later. Knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. This is the only thing that I should bottle. This bottle. Supposingly you have a business idea that I should sell these bottles. Ultimately, you all want to make money. Ultimately, you want financial independence. No? Ultimately, you want a stage in life where, sir, my parents have brought me up to this age. As early as possible, I want to take away the responsibility on myself so that I can give them the retirement that is best possible in the world, and which is possible only if you are financially independent. So you decide that I will sell these bottles and earn profits. First thing that I will check is the competitor. The other people in the market are selling this bottle at what price? Supposingly this bottle is being sold in the market at 100 rupees. I can't charge 10. No one will buy. And if 100 everyone is buying, then I will not make 99. But maybe only to enter the market, maybe I do 99 or 95 or anything. But at 100 I will be able to sell. So selling price is determined by the market. You cannot start this business unless and until you are able to acquire this bottle at less than 100. Acquire matlab, we call it the cost of the bottle. Now, if you are a trader, you will buy a ready-made bottle. If you are a manufacturer, then you will manufacture the bottle. Trader may it will be purchase price, which has to be less than 100. Manufacturer may it will be cost of production, which is direct material, direct labor, direct expense, time cost. Add factory overheads, factory cost, adjust WIP stock, the cost of production, adjust your finished good cost of, cost of goods sold, your other overhead, selling and distribution overheads, you get cost of sales, total cost. You heard all this? Yeah. Cost sheet. I hope you are not wondering, sir, how do you know all this? You teach tax. CA hai, bro. Understand what this course does. Costing. Whether I am able to acquire the bottle at 90, purchase price or manufacturing price, then only start the business. Otherwise, don't. If your cost is more than 100, it's a loss-making business. So, whether I should start the business or no, costing will decide. Which course will teach you costing? CA. Other courses will also. But wait, we are not done. Costing. Supposingly, I use my costing principles that were taught to me in CA. Whether I pass CA or I don't pass CA. But costing is taught, so I know direct material, direct labor, I know purchase price. 90 rupees. So I was like, yes, done. I think I should do this business. So I purchase at 90. Let us say I am a trader and I sell at 100. So I am earning 10 rupees per bottle. That is not profit. That is not profit. In costing language, we call it contribution of every individual unit. I think little bit of this was a part of your foundation also. Economics may maybe somewhere. Okay. Maybe if you've studied marginal costing, so you'll be aware of this. Marginal costing, that is contribution. To run my office, my factory, or my trading office, I will have rent, electricity, telephone, traveling, salary to my staff, which comes to a monthly fixed cost of 1 lakh rupees. And one bottle is earning only 10 for me. I have to at least sell 10,000 bottles in 1 month to recover that fixed cost. At 10,000 bottles, I will earn 1 lakh rupees as contribution, and that will recover my fixed cost. That situation in costing is known as no profit, no loss. In technical terms, we call it break-even point. Who taught all this? Who has taught me all this? CA course. So I need to sell more than 10,000 bottles. I use my estimates. I thought that fantastic. I will be able to sell 10,000 plus bottles, with which I will be able to recover my fixed cost as well as variable cost. Yes, I should start the business. That decision I took because of knowledge of costing, whether I pass CA or no, but CA course has taught me costing. Now understand, if I have to manufacture the 10,000 bottles or purchase, see, I cannot sell no at 100 rupees before I purchase them. The first thing cannot be sale. See, profit is selling price minus cost price, but I have to first acquire. No? So my first cost will be 90 rupees into 10,000 bottles. That is 9 lakh for 1 month. You understand? I will need money. Where will I get the money from? Option 1, take loan from someone. So I will have to pay interest. That will add to my cost. Option 2, I can offer somebody partnership in my business. So I will have to give those people something called equity. I will have cost of equity. Option 3, I can give them preference shares, debentures. I have to raise funds from somewhere. Or it is also possible that I already have money, which I was keeping in a bank account, but I withdraw from there. So I am losing interest, opportunity cost. So to raise a finance, what are the sources? Your sources of funds. Cost of debt, cost of preference share, KD, KP, KE, cost of capital. How to make that investment, whether to withdraw money from the business or let the profits remain in the business, whether to give dividend or not to give dividend. How much working capital we require, because sales will happen, then they will convert into debtors, then the debtors will pay after a certain maturity. For that much time, I will have to invest more and more funds. All that taught to me by a subject called financial management, again a part of your CA course. So costing taught me whether I should do the business or not. FM taught me to do the business, where will I get the money from, how to make those investments. Finally, I did that business because I have knowledge of costing and FM. Once I do the business, I will do purchases, I will do sales. So I will record all those entries. Purchase account debit to creditor account and debtor account debit to sales. That is financial accounting. You all studied that accounts as first accounts in 11th standard. Debit credit. In real life of a businessman, that is third accounts. First I decide costing, then I decide FM. Finally, the financial accounting that you do, the journal entries, are the third accounts of the life of a chartered accountant or a businessman. I will record all those entries. Prepare my trial balance, final accounts, balance sheet, profit and loss account. Profit and loss account will be for the year, full year, and balance sheet will be a financial position as on a particular date. Whether these accounts are right or no. Now we will have to get an independent examination done for these accounts. That is audit. Bro, who will teach you that? CA. Now that we have done the audit, so we know that yes, the accounts are correct. Modi ji said in his speech, in that historic speech, he said when a CA signs, government believes it to be true, any investor believes it to be true, you are CA, alphabets of trust. After the audit is done, so we know that the accounts are correct. So what is the effect? The business will have to pay some direct taxes, the business will have to pay some indirect taxes. Who will teach you? Both levels, inter and final, CA course. If this organization which is doing the business is registered as a company, you need to follow Companies Act. LLP, so LLP Act, Partnership Firm, so Indian Partnership Act, Basic Day-to-Day Business Transactions, Indian Contract Act. From the idea of a business to the execution of the business and to post-effect, final end-to-end process. Show me a course in commerce which covers everything. I am not saying, there is respectfully CMA course which teaches a lot of costing. Company secretary course, huge respect, they are our professional brothers and sisters. Huge respect, they will teach you all the laws. But which is that course which will teach you end to end? No other course, past, present, future, Sanskrit shlok, na bhuto na bhavishyati. There is no better course in commerce. No other course. This is what the CA course will do. In terms of statutory power, only our signature works. In terms of financial investment, in terms of knowledge, that is whether you clear or you don't clear. Of course, the second thing is not our option. But we see a huge number of dropouts in CA exam just because their strategy is not good, they are not in correct hands, their guidance is wrong, they fall for influencers, they go by social media followers, number of followers on social media make them decide whether a particular class is good or no. Believe me, higher the number on social media, lesser will be the quality because they are already popular. They have nothing to lose. They have huge marketing budgets. And because of that, we see a huge number of dropouts in CA exam. Still, they go home with the knowledge with which they can do actually anything and everything. And after CA, when we talk about earning purposes. See, we are not here to show each other our respective incomes, that this is my monthly income or what is your monthly income. No, your annual income right now is zero. You are students. So it is okay. Everyone has that phase in life. The day you become a chartered accountant with little bit good knowledge, there are some people who only pass the exams and they don't have a single answer to any question asked to them in an interview. Sometimes you look at some people and wonder, कैसे pass हुआ रे? There are so many people whom you come across. You look at them and you feel, how did you pass? They studied only for exam, not for knowledge. The day you believe that you have to study only for clearing exam, you will spoil your career and your exam book. At least in my class, you don't come only for the purpose of exam. Of course, is our priority, is a very important thing. But the main target is that knowledge which I can apply anywhere in my life. That's my main target, my priority. You clear CA with little good knowledge in any particular subject, whichever is your favorite subject. Preferably first attempt. Rank holder to nothing like that. Preferably first attempt. Maybe second, third attempt. Also in CA, it is very, very normal. CA is not about percentage. Sir, if you have scored 90%, 95% in your aggregate 12 standard, you scored 90 plus marks in accounts, maths in your 10 standard, 12 standard. CA is not about 90%. CA is only about you pass or not. If you are getting anywhere less than 1 lakh rupees a month, please come to me and talk to me. My guarantee is that much. Believe me, there is a huge shortage. Industrialists, big CA firms, their partners, a lot of them are my students because I look young and handsome, but I told you 40, 50,000 students I have taught. They just come, sir, qualified CA, good, who has knowledge, not just the degree, who will be able to handle the work in the office. Sir, whatever you say, I will pay. But should be good, someone who is a team person, is willing to work hard for the organization. That person's career is my responsibility, but should have some knowledge and should be knowledge also you have less, no? Should be having the willingness to learn things that you are not aware of. 1 lakh per month guarantee I am taking. That also only first attempt, not even a rank person. Second attempt also, because that much is the demand currently in the market. And if you are a rank holder or just a first attempt with good marks and good knowledge in a particular area, it need not be good knowledge in all the subjects. Only financial management you are very good because it's a very interesting subject. Yeah. Only taxation you are extremely good, or auditing you are extremely good. With that knowledge, I can take you to 1.5, 2 lakh starting. Starting is my responsibility. Then how you work and perform there can change. Corporate world, every couple of years you get 20-30% hike. Start I will give you, provided you follow the things that I tell you. And what you learn in articleship also has a role to play. Not an extremely big role. Believe me, when I did articleship, 3.5 years, I did VAT audit. So much I studied. Now VAT is only removed. There is no VAT only. So many a times your whole articleship knowledge can become a complete waste also. Smartness is to learn. If it is removed, unlearn. Something new has come, relearn. Learn, unlearn, relearn. You have to keep doing this. You have to grow every day. You can never in life say, sir, now I know everything. Now I don't have to learn. You have to be a permanent student. And you have that willingness. Your career is my responsibility, not CA inter exam. And the demand I am telling you, every day, you do one thing, you open newspapers. In newspapers, you have those columns. Requirement. Property required, या property on sale, teachers required, grooms required, brides required. Check that column for requirement of someone who has knowledge of accounting, taxation, finalization of accounts, compliances, preferably CA. Check every day and see in one newspaper how many vacancies come every day. How much is the demand? How much is the demand? If there was so much supply, then they were not required to give such expensive ads in such big newspapers. A newspaper like Times of India, you every day you will see those ads. Provided you read newspapers, then only you will come to what I am talking about. This is the game-changing course, but at the same time, the warning is. So till now I was talking about good things, and I stick to it. Bring anyone, open challenge. I told you about the monetary part. Now till now I did not want to get into that. I spoke about statutory powers, only our sign works. I spoke about the respect. I spoke about the knowledge. But if money is the criteria, because I saw another podcast where a blogger is saying, actually I was pursuing CA, but I quit CA in between and went to invest in stock market. CA karke bhi I would have won 25-30,000 per month only. I usually don't comment from my official handle because I have to be respectful. It's a public place. But I did comment that CA ka driver earns 25-30,000 per month. I had to do it. I did comment. CA ka driver earns 25-30,000 per month. Bro, what world are you in? These Dubai ka sheikhs who have made such billions ka investment in foreign courses ka coaching, they somehow want to take away students from the CA course. Do everything but not CA. Mindset ho gaya, 9th standard, 10th standard kids. Sir, anything but not CA. Because of that, so much of investment on social media. And the points that I said, you can find out for yourself. No, anybody else ka ACCA ka CPA ka sign works anywhere in audit reports? No. The fee structure that I spoke, you can go and find out for yourself. CFA ka, ACCA ka, CPA ka, what is the fee structure? Check it out and compare it with your CA course ka fee structure. And I never said it is easy. I said CA is difficult. Of course it is difficult. It has to be difficult. But unfortunately, these influencers, and somewhere I have one more objection. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about it, but I have observed that when kids are in 9th standard, 10th standard, these days, I think in ICSE board, at least in 9th only, you have to choose science or commerce. ICSE mein, I don't know about CBSE or state board, but ICSE mein 9th standard, 10th standard, you have to choose. What school teachers are doing, whoever are the toppers of their classroom, top 5 students of their class, top 10, they purposely divert them towards science. Sir, intelligent people do science. Commerce is for idiots. How to make them understand? HDFC chairman Deepak Parekh is a chartered accountant. Boat ka founder Aman Gupta, chartered accountant. MQ Pharmaceutical, that extremely good looking girl, what is her name? Who comes on Shark Tank? Namita Thapar. Acha, all you all watch Shark Tank, some episodes. All the judges that come in that show, all their businesses are loss making. Lenscut is loss making. That guy Shadi.com is loss making. BharatPe is loss making. There are only 2 people who are making profits: Aman Gupta and Namita Thapar. And check the qualification of both of them. Both of them are chartered accountants. So if monetary factor is the criteria and influencers are spoiling your brain, or school teachers are diverting you towards science, stating that commerce is for idiots and putting unnecessary pressure on you. See, I am not doing marketing for CA course right now. You have to understand. If I am talking to an 11th standard or 12th standard student and saying these good things about CA, maybe I am doing marketing. But you are already in CA and in my classroom. So, abhi what kind of marketing I will do? Where are you going to go away from here now? Now there can't be marketing of the CA course. Now I can maximum market my CA final lecture. Enroll in my class only, but I am not talking about my lectures. I am talking about the CA course. You are already there. You can't consider this as marketing. No, you are already here. Believe me, there is not and there will never be a better course. But the game-changing part of CA is, ladies and gentlemen, your CA intermediate, because all these subjects, first time, you are aware, no, CA inter is divided into 2 groups. Group 1, Group 2. You have 3 papers. Your paper 1 here is accounts, paper 2 is law, and in paper 3 you have tax divided into direct tax of 50 marks, indirect tax of, making this total of course 3 into 100, 300. This is what you are going to study for group 1. In group 1, in group 2, for convenience, they call it paper 4, 5, 6. Otherwise, if they start calling it paper 1, again there will be confusion. Paper 1 of group 1 of group 2. So they call it only paper 4, paper 5, paper 6. So paper 4 is costing, again 100 marks. Here you have audit, 100 marks, and here you have, I think, FM and SM. They are 50-50. So again, that's 3 into 100. That's your CA intermediate, 600 marks. Now observe why CA Inter is the game changer. Because the subjects that you have studied before today, maths gone, maths will never come again. When I say maths will never come again, don't say, sir, you are making us do interest calculation, sir, that is maths. Algebra, geometry, trigonometry, sin theta, cos theta, derivatives, integration will not come again. But arithmetic will come. Arithmetic, accounts maybe you are doing totaling, that does not mean you are doing maths only, no? That much basic maths is always going to come. Okay? Economics, whatever you have studied, except accounts, everything gone. These subjects you learn first time here. For a rough moment, I don't want to go into too much of discussion about CA final right now. But for a rough moment, I just want to tell you that CA final also is divided into similar two groups. Group 1, Group 2. Here, my paper 1 is a paper called FR, Financial Reporting, which is nothing but the accounts that you have studied. Here, your paper 2 is a subject called AFM, Advanced Financial Management. So, you learn your basic here and then learn the advanced part here. Your paper 3 is name, look at the name, Advanced Auditing and Professional Ethics. So, whatever you have learned at basic level here will become at an advanced level here. In group 2, we have direct tax laws and international taxation. So, your base will be set here and we will learn again DT for 100 marks at CA final. Likewise, you have your IDT again. Base will be set at inter and advanced level at final. And there is this one paper, integrated business solution. You never know. You can at any point of time see this getting removed from CA final because huge number of objections are being raised. What is this paper? They give you a case study. They give you a situation. I told you about that businessman start to end story. So they will give you that whole story of the businessman. Then they will ask you costing ka adjustment. FM, where to get the money from, what is cost of capital, means FM adjustment. Then they will ask you to pass journal entries and make the balance sheet. Then they will ask direct tax, indirect tax effect. Matlab, whatever knowledge you have acquired in all these subjects, you have to apply. So the objection raised by students, if there is someone who has cleared group 1 of CA final 10 years ago, has taken a break, now is resuming group, he has forgotten FRA. Bro, you forget after every few minutes. Anything that is taught to you, what is your retention duration? You've seen that movie Gajni? His retention was 15 minutes, still longer than you. Amir Khan, Kalpana was killed. 15 minutes was still longer than your retention. Bro, someone who has cleared CA ka group 1 CA final 10 years ago can't be doing financial management adjustments or accounts adjustments or auditing adjustments. So objections are being raised. You never know, they may be removing it, but it's an open book paper. Open book means you are allowed to carry your books. And from the book also, still people are not getting the answer. You can read the book and answer. Still people are failing in this subject. It will be removed. But focus on this part. And do you realize that all these papers of 100 marks, all are 100 mark papers at CA final, first time you have studied at inter, you have set your base at inter. And if you don't take CA inter seriously, so you are going to spoil CA final, you are going to spoil your career. CA inter exam is the game changing course in chartered accountancy. If your inter is perfect, your final will be very smooth because inter gives you 1 year to study all this, including coaching, including self-study and writing practice. Final gives you 3 years. Final becomes difficult only when you waste first 2 years, thinking that there is too much time. Human tendency, we want to do everything at the last moment. And therefore, final becomes difficult. If you start planning CA final from the first day when you clear CA intern, final can actually be made very easy because you can spread over your burden over 3 years. But in inter, you don't have that luxury. I know some of you are thinking, sir, but if by January end our syllabus gets over, and then if we give September attempt, so actually we will get more time gap to study. May is only after 2-3 months, but September will give us extra additional 2-3 months. So we'll get extra 3-4 months. So total period of 6 months will be so good, no? So instead of giving May, sir, shouldn't we give September? Then give Jan 26. You'll get more 3 months. No, do one thing, give May 26, you'll get one full extra year, no? Other people will reach in CA final and you will be stuck at inter. The best time is now. You don't have to study my subject after I finish the syllabus. You have to study every day. If I take a lecture of 4 hours, you have to give only half an hour. Maybe sometime not. Today's lecture, you don't have to give 10 minutes only, because 10 minutes also, because it is only in the nature of introduction. You don't have to go and revise that. Yes, very handsome faculty. Membership number. They don't ask this in exam. Handsome faculty. Very good looking faculty. Chalo, let's Google the faculty's name. Lol. No, not now. After Instagram. But that is not self-study. That is not revision. I know today's generation ka habit. I tell students that if I want to post anything professional, PDF will come on Telegram, video will come on YouTube, because they are the platforms for respective work. But Instagram is my personal space. I can remove my clothes and dance in a mountain. And in that mountain, when I am without clothes dancing, my wife is hitting me with a belt. That is my personal space. My WhatsApp story, my Instagram story, that is my personal space. You cannot be commenting why I am doing that. I don't interfere with what you are doing. So you also don't. Let me do it. Okay? You don't follow on Instagram. Correct platforms are Telegram and YouTube for knowledge purposes. But knowing today's generation, once they are told this, to hell with YouTube or Telegram, their first target is kidhar kapda nikal kidhar. I know this generation so well. The point is this, that if you don't take intermediate seriously, you'll end up spoiling a lot of things. Okay, coming back to the point. So you have group 1 3 papers. We'll focus on inter only, right? And group 2 3 papers. So that's 3 into 100. 3 into 100. You have to give CA inter for 600 marks. Are you aware of the passing criteria? Kya, sir? 1. Minimum 40% in each subject, in each paper of 100 marks. In DT, IDT together you have to score minimum 50, or FM, SM together you have to score minimum 50. And means cumulative condition. You should have minimum 50% aggregate. You can do this group by group, or you can do this for all the papers. Supposingly you decide to give only group 1. In case, and you get 50 plus 40 plus 60. So are you doing minimum 40 in all the subjects? And is your aggregate coming to 150 out of 300? You have cleared this group. Next attempt may you give your second group. Supposingly you get 80 plus 40 plus 40. That's total of. Are you getting minimum 40? And aggregate, you can do it group by group also. Okay. So at one time you have to give only 3 papers. So next time you come and ask me, sir, so it makes it so easy, no, sir, at one time only 3 papers. So shall I give 1 group or 2 groups? When you ask me that question, 1 group or 2 groups, I will first give you 2 slaps. Never ask that question to me. Never. You are going to give under all circumstances, both groups, both groups, both groups, both groups, both groups. Reason number 1. In my class, don't come for passing CA exam. I did not give CA exam for passing. When my results were out, my friends did not ask me, did you clear? Their question was, which rank, bro? You have to create that atmosphere around you. You have to have that mindset. I have that mindset that one day I will take Deepika ji on a date with me. and you are able to achieve only if you are thinking in that direction. No, it will happen. Manifestation, it works, and I will do it one day. In fact, both of us are parents now, so I can share parenting tips. I have experience also. She is a new parent, may or may not be able to handle the baby. I'll tell her, don't worry, I'll handle the baby like my own. Manifestation works. So, approach for rank. Now, listen. Supposingly, you give individual groups. You give group 1. You get full 300. You are Rajnikant's cousin. Full marks. 100 marks in all papers. And then next time, next attempt, you give the second group, again you get 300. Well, this is highest possible marks in CA Inter. Nobody can get more than 100%. But it is still no rank. For a rank, you have to give both groups together. If you give one group at a time, even if you get full marks, you are not considered for rank. Reason 2 why you will give both groups together. You want to call yourself a first attempt CA Inter clear student. Anybody who is giving one group at a time will always be considered second attempt, even if you clear both groups in the attempt which you give. You give group 1 in May 25, group 2 in September 25. You clear them in that first try itself, but it will still be counted as 2 attempts for CA Inter. What stamp you want? Lifetime. What do you want on your resume? Rank holder at all the levels of CA. Or, sir, bas girte marte padte somehow I did it, sir. You want that stamp of first attempt or no? For first attempt, you will have to give both groups together. Third, I don't know whether now you are aware of this, but in the new course, your articleship can start only after you have cleared both groups. You clear both groups, then only you can start articleship. So you give one group in May 25. You cannot start your articleship even if you are 100% confident that you actually clear with good marks, but your articleship will start only after clearing them. In fact, you have to give both groups in May. Hear me out. While you will be nearing your exams, Institute will open their website for enrollment towards these courses called IT and OC. These are mandatory courses that you have to undergo before commencement of. You register online at any of the local centers. You take admission. It will be 15 days IT, 15 days OC. Finish them between exam and results. Hear me out. I have seen some students make this big mistake. They have lost 6 months of their life. I'll explain how. They gave the exam. They didn't register for ITOC. Didn't register only. They waited for the results. After results, no batches are always full. Because too much of demand, everybody wants to pursue these courses. So 1 month, no batch available. 1.5 months, no batch available. Unless and until you finish both of them, you can't officially commence your articleship. Articleship can start only after both groups and completion of ITOC. So smartest thing to do is, while you are preparing for your exam, the moment they open enrollments, don't wait for your friends. Friends are not going to wait for you. In life, everyone has his or her own journey. They will go away ahead in life. You will be behind. Do not wait for any friend. Just enroll. Whichever batch is available. One of my students, she is from another part of the Mumbai city. I take lectures in Mumbai city at a place called Mulund. She was getting a local IT batch. She didn't take it. And I asked her the reason. She's like, no sir, I want to travel to the other part, BKC. I said, BKC mein better crowd comes, no? She's like, yes sir. Then the words that I spoke, that you should not be speaking in front of a female, and almost left. Because of this nonsense, now she missed the ITOC batches. Her articleship got delayed by 2 months and her final attempt will get delayed by 6 months. Because final ka system is, after completion of articleship, you need 3 months ka gap. So because of those 2 months of delay, she missed that final ka attempt and now she has to give 6 months later. So if you are not giving only the other group, you will never be able to start your articleship. It's not a 3-month delay. It is 6-month delay in your CA final attempt, if you are giving one group at a time, you are again taking a very, very big risk. And one last reason, you should know this also. Supposingly you got 80, 80, you got 60, 40, and 40 in one group. How much is that? 140. While you have cleared all the papers individually, but you have not cleared this group. Why? Aggregate is not done. But along with that, you have also given the other group where you have scored 80 plus 40 plus 40. What is this total? 160. Ek minute. Even if it was given individually, is this group done? Why? Individual paper also done and aggregate also done. Now, if both groups were given together, so the total will be taken from here. Individual subjects done, aggregate done. You have cleared CA inter. Your inter group set off for aggregate purposes is possible only and only when you have given both groups together. You understood why you will always give two groups. You understood why CA inter is the game changer, because the subjects that are taught to you here will come again at a very, very advanced level in CA final. If today your basics are clear, your concepts are clear, then you are going to excel at CA final exam. If I just may talk about my subject now, if you carefully observe, direct tax is here 50 marks and here it is obviously 100 marks. So we have 150 marks of direct tax. If you are coming to my class for 50 marks direct tax, you will not find it worth, because 50 marks is less than 10% of CA inter. CA inter is 600 marks. But the day you tell yourself, I am here to learn for 150 marks, I am here to set the base, then only you will find it worth. In fact, I am not just here to teach you for your exam. You go and sit in an articleship interview or a post qualification interview. The person who is taking your interview should get a feeling that you know things more than he knows. That is going to be my main target as we approach our subject. So that was as far as me telling you about the CA course and CA inter exams are concerned. I'll come to taxation and taxation in general and direct tax in particular only after I tell you about this part. Again, a very important part, manner of learning. Listen to this very, 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 very carefully, because if you don't follow the instructions that I give you here, you will see a very bad side of mine. I generally don't lose my temper. I am very, very calm and cool. Well, I've been married for 10 years. You think I have right to lose my temper? 10 years? लगता नहीं ना sir, 10 years. But 10 years. Still initially I used to lose. I now have a 6-year-old son. I know sir. Sir, it does not look like, but I do have. And children are very, very sharp at catching your words, actions and mannerisms. If they see you screaming, they don't do what you tell them to do. They just do what they see you doing. God knows why I took him to the movie Pushpa. And he is full day, last 3 days, full day he is at home. Pushpa, 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 Pushpa. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Full day he is singing. Suddenly he is, while taking a bath in the bathroom, he is saying, Rapa, Rap, Katunga. Like, what mistake I have. He has learned everything from this. When I was in the 10th standard, no, I love Bollywood that way because it gives me a lot of examples. I have been a Bollywood fan. Not the last few years have been very horrible for Bollywood. Bollywood is going to such bad time that I actually re-releasing those good movies of the past. When I was in the 10th standard, I full year was allowed only 4 movies by my parents because board exams. So you have to focus. So I saw the best of movies. There was one Hrithik Roshan movie, Koi Mil Gaya, in that year. There was, on my birthday, when I was in the 10th standard, I saw a movie called Kal Ho Na. It had released at that time. And after 21 years, that movie is now re-released and still running more successfully than the other recently released movies. And I wanted to relive those days. Full day he is speaking dialogues, those dialogues which even I have forgotten. He's speaking those dialogues. You have to be very careful when you are speaking in front of children, especially when I am driving. You know, in Mumbai, in fact, anywhere in India, when you are driving, the words that you want to speak when you are driving to the other drivers on the road, especially those, you know, those truck drivers. I don't roll my window down. I just speak with the windows up only, and then my wife instigates me. She's like, "Why don't you roll the window down?" Huh? I like leave it. No, if I roll down and I say those words, then you know you'll have to go home alone. But when he is present in the car, I am very careful. So I am generally very, very calm and composed. But following things I will not tolerate. If my lecture will be either 12 to 4 or 1 to 5. It can be any of these two timings. It also depends on what is the timing of the other lecture. But it is going to be the first lecture of the day. If my lecture is at 12 o'clock, you have to come in class and settle down at 11:55, not at 12:05, not at 12:02, not at 12:01, not definitely not at 1. What made you come at 1 o'clock in my 12 o'clock lecture? That is a different thing. See, which is understandable. But it is your still duty to inform the office in advance. If you have informed, then see, if you have any college exam going on and that is the reason, and if you have given prior intimation, it's a genuine thing which we understand. But you can't be walking in at 12:05, at 12:10 in my class. It is not acceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Then be prepared to see the wrong side of me, which is very dangerous. Even I don't like that. I cannot tolerate indiscipline. I was talking about my lectures in the other part of the city, Mulund. From this present branch, where I am taking this lecture, my house is very close by. If you heard of a place called Lalbagh, I'm like 5 minutes away from my house. Here, I stay there only. But when I take lectures in Mulund, it's a 45-minute drive early morning. My CA final lectures start at 7 o'clock sharp. At 6:30, I am in Mulund. Not 6:40, 6:45. If I am ever 15 minutes late, I am still 15 minutes before time. Math, samjha? When I am 15 minutes late, I am 15 minutes before. And it's not today. In 14 years of teaching, ask any teacher, ask anybody sitting in the office, ask anybody who knows me. I have not started a lecture at 7:02 a.m., 7:03 a.m., 7:05 is out of question. Early morning lecture also. Literally 6 months of a year when I am taking CA final lectures, I have to actually get up at 4:30 to meet that timing criteria. 4:30 is a criminal time to get up. I'm telling you. Like I get a feeling here, forget this here, do something else. But the moment I reach class and the kind of love, affection, response, careers being made right in front of you, thousands of students coming after. Today you coming and criticizing, sir, 5 minutes later I have come and you're screaming at me, yelling at me. That's not fair. 10 years from today when you meet me, in case you still remember me, and you randomly meet me and you say, sir, those concepts which we had studied in class, no, sir, they are helping me in my career even today. I take big sense of achievement in that. And therefore, 4:30 a.m. And therefore, you cannot come late in my class. I am not going to tolerate this. I don't know what other teachers are doing or allowing. I am not going to tolerate this. I am very clear on this. It's a very, very important part of my manner of learning. You have to come on time. Second, I will be asking you questions. Something that I have not taught, I will tell you to try, guess, at least try. It can be right or wrong. It's okay. If you are right, look at the confidence. If you are wrong, it is not an exam. We are all here to learn. At least you get to know that whether you are you thinking right or no? Is your thinking in the correct direction? Try. But I will also be asking you questions on things that I have taught. I can ask those questions to the class as a whole. I can ask those questions to an individual student, especially the indisciplined ones. If you are someone who comes late, if you are someone whose work is not up to the mark, I will pick you individually and make you answer the question by taking your name. And if you don't answer things that I have taught, it's a big syllabus. It will go on for at least 1.5 months. More than that, maybe. And today, if I have taught you something and I ask you after 1 month and you don't answer, you are inviting trouble. Big trouble, I'm telling you. You have to revise every day. Sir, how should we revise? I'll make you understand. See, my pattern of teaching is everything I do, I write and explain. Something as simple as number of years of teaching. Yeah, also, I'll just do one thing. I'll show you the notes of the recently concluded batch. This is the batch that I have completed. Existing CA Inter ka batch. I just completed it last week, and I started with you guys. I was supposed to start a couple of days before today, but I was told your FM syllabus is not yet over, so it the slight delay. Everything that I have taught. Can you see this? I write. Everything taught in class is written. And see how I'm making the notes. So that batch I started on the 16th of October. So the page heading is 16th of October, whatever I have taught on that day. Next lecture was on 17th of October, second lecture. So on a new page with the heading 17th October, that day is full notes. Every day started with a new, of course, 16th October ka batch got over on the 13th of December. Last day there was not much because we had to do from another PDF which I gave to them. Before that I took a lecture on the 11th of December. Every day ka lecture will be converted into a fresh page, and whatever I am writing here also. So this is CA Inter May 25, the other first lecture, 17th of December. Whatever we have written today, I am technologically very sound. Not something you will see people of my age, but when it comes to practical usage of computers, technology, the day's notes will be converted into a PDF. Every day's notes will be converted into PDF. Together for about our 35-40 lectures that we will be having, we will have those 35 to 40 PDFs. Whatever I will write during today and supposingly tomorrow. So if you observe, I have created a new sheet only for your batch. I will add a page here, of course. That will become 18th of December, and tomorrow's lecture I will be writing here. But right now we are on the 17th. This will be converted into a PDF. The total 35-40 PDFs will comprise of not more than about 200-250 pages. Your full syllabus will be in that. Not just for your daily revision, but 1.5 days before exam is a very difficult time because you have too much to study. Too much to study. Plus you have indirect tax also because same paper. But this class ka note wala part will take care of your full revision. Believe me, you can revise the entire syllabus in half a day. You can actually do DT ka revision twice, IDT ka revision twice if you are keeping these notes with care. So whatever will be the notes of that day will be converted into PDF, and I will be uploading, of course, in my app where I upload amendment revision lectures. See, I am not someone who will force you. No. Download my app now. Download my. No, don't download. But if you want the PDF, then you will have. Amendment revision ka lectures I upload over there. I don't upload publicly. Don't download. You have another option. Whatever I am explaining, you alongside me, you can also take down the class notes. I am for no problem. See, whatever I am writing, till now we have not started the subject. Once we start the subject, there are students who understand only if they are simultaneously writing. Everyone has his or her study pattern which is different. So there are students who are comfortable in writing when they are studying. There are students who are absolutely not comfortable. If I tell you about myself, if my teacher is teaching, and while the teacher is teaching, I am busy writing, I lose track of what the teacher is saying. It was, very difficult for me to focus in class then. So I never wrote anything in class and collected those notes from my friends as photocopies. So your options are either you write the notes with me, you can't expect me, sir, ho gaya. Now you copy, I am waiting. No, then we'll have to take 80 lectures. Either you write with me, or if your friends are writing, you take photocopy from their book. Now don't approach me for this, sir. Can you tell her to be my friend? Oh, I want photocopies. Bro, this is not my side business. Okay. I don't get any commission also for this. So I am not here to, and you are a CA student, I'll tell you what, nothing is going to happen. Hashtag forever single CA students, nothing is going to happen. Your only love life is your calculator, romance your calculator. That's the only possible couple challenge that you can have in your life. Okay, CA students, is that clear? So either you yourself make your friends and get the photocopies, or you yourself take them, or you don't want to do that. So app के अंदर I will be uploading. कौन सा app? We are available on Android, Windows, and iOS also. Apple users, anyone? No, bro. 2 minute silence. Apple users. ठीक है, छोड़ो. This is the name. You can download. Every day I will be uploading. Under the app there is a tab called free courses. In free courses I will be uploading. I'll be putting it with your name. CA Inter Direct Tax May 25 17th December batch. Under that you will get all the PDFs of your daily class notes. Okay. In case there is any difficulty, you can ask me. I will help you how to access it. But I will be uploading. You want, you don't want, you don't. I'm not forcing you to download. See, for your comfort and convenience, if you want, you do it. Otherwise, it is okay. But I'll tell you what. कल की date पे I'll be uploading the amendment revision lecture there. अभी I showed you my book. In my book, I have MCQs. See, for subjective questions, no, the answers are printed. MCQs also answers are printed. But क्या question 1 option A, question 2 option D. How to get that answer? I upload those solutions also. Solutions to MCQs. So, end of the day, you will need, but I still don't force you. Okay, choice is yours. So, 1, you have to be punctual. 2, you have to revise every day. If I ask you a question and you don't answer, you will be responsible for any action that I take. And I can do anything. I cannot tolerate indiscipline. I cannot simply tolerate indiscipline. I will have more fun with you than any other subject or any other teacher. You have students of previous batches who are your friends or who? Yeah. Oh, first bench. Huh. Anybody else? Which batch? Rohan. Rohan Dhuri. Bodybuilder. He was my inspiration, bro. Every day he used to come like this. And any time I took him as an example, no, he used to give me looks. Then I started going to the gym. But his batch got over. Now I am like, bro, chal chhod. So they must have told you certain things. I clearly tell you, see, you want to make fun of me, no? I am okay with that. Make it on my face, not behind my back. And be ready for my reply also. Humiliate me, I will also humiliate. Let us roast each other. Bro. I mean, priority is this. Do not compromise on this. Be disciplined in this. Let's make fun of each other. Because whether you make fun of me or no, I am going to. Then I'll tell you in advance. Don't be offended. Because I am also not going to be offended. But But never say anything behind anybody's back, say it on the face. Fun, unlimited. Discipline also. Discipline will be priority. Are we clear on this? Next, we are not going to learn the law only for the purpose of approaching the exams. No, sir. Exam is not our main target. Exam is one of our targets. A big target. Main target is knowledge. Because the questions that we do in class, of course, we are doing everything. And our additional question banking is simply covering everything. But our concept should be so strong that whether we have direct question, indirect question, whether we have same question or different question, we have to apply our knowledge. We will learn for knowledge purposes. Very important part of my manner of learning. Do not come to my class for 50 marks direct tax. You will have to come to my class for 100 marks direct tax, because if your base is proper today, so at the advanced level CA final, you will have ease in learning what I am teaching you. Everything that we study in CA Inter is repeated in CA final direct tax. Everything that we study here will be repeated. Hello? Huh. Everything. Statue, you are sitting. I thought there is some network issue. Then move a bit. I thought network is stuck. You following what I'm saying? Huh. Knowledge will be our main target. Logic will be our main target. You will often hear me saying a statement. Nothing is bigger than logic. The whole world outside this classroom, whoever is giving CA intermediate, go to any of the neighboring buildings. A lot of students pursuing CA. They will know what is the law. What is the law? You will know by. This is what is written in the section. Everyone knows. Why is this written? What was the intention of the government in creating this section in income tax? Is going to be our target. Logic, the answer to the question why. The law is nothing but common sense. And when you develop that ability, approaching the law with common sense, what happens with that? Supposing there is a question in your exam, which unfortunately you are not able to recollect what is the answer. What do? Leaving the question is not an option. Of course, we will leave that question first and complete whatever we know. First target should be complete whatever you know. Then finally, when you come back to the question, there is no negative marking. So leaving the question simply means zero. Write any nonsense. Write Jana Gana Mana Adhinayaka Jaya Bharat Bhagya Vidata, and they don't deduct marks for that. Huh? It is still better than leaving the question. Write in bad handwriting. Paper checker should not understand what you have written. Will give you half marks. Still better than zero. Don't actually write the national anthem. I just gave an example. I think you went in that zone. Acha, sir. So whenever I don't remember anything in any paper, I will write Jana Gana Mana Adhinayaka. And if anybody questions me, I'll say, sir, Bharat Mata ki jai. Nahin. What I'm trying to say is that when you don't know the answer, use your common sense. What should be the answer using common sense? In a worst case scenario when you are not able to recollect, common sense is going to help you at that point of time. Are you understanding this? And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be one of our main targets in approaching our subject. Is that clear? Manner of learning. I have some more set of instructions. For example, you'll always have this question, sir, what should be the presentation of answers? That as we do the chapters, it is going to change chapter by chapter. Some set of instructions for a particular chapter. So as we proceed in the syllabus, I will give you instructions. As of now, discipline, daily revision, you'll get to revise from, if you're taking the notes yourself or from the app or from photocopy. My criteria is simple. If I ask you anything after 1 month also, don't worry, I will not ask my membership number. From the subject, if I ask you anything after 1 month also, you should be able to answer. With revision, fantastic. You are so intelligent, sir. Once you speak in class, everything is told here. I don't even need to revise. You are intelligent. Very good. No problem. With revision or without revision, if I have taught something, you have to answer. How you manage that? Not my problem. But you have to answer. You have doubts, I will be available for you at any point of time. Any point of time does not mean that if I give you a 10-minute break, so you come running behind me. Because that break is not your break, it is my break. You are only sitting and enjoying the show. I am speaking continuously, it's been 2 hours now. Now so it is decided, no? All of you will come before time. Confirm, hai na? So come before time and sort your doubts. I don't mind staying back after your class because my next commitment is after 1 hour. I have that gap available. I don't need such a big break also. Just little traveling time. I will have time. But at that time, you will not give me time because that first priority of your life. Only half an hour break during the day. And you want to eat like there is no tomorrow. Eat like all the food on the planet is going to get over today itself. Today is the last chance for eating. So that half an hour gets over only in And therefore, even if you have doubts, there are so many kids who have doubts, but they are like, no, sir, I'll ask you tomorrow. So I don't mind after class, but I know you won't ask. Before class, please come before time. We'll sort it out. In fact, if we have done too many chapters, you've revised all of them, many doubts accumulated. No problem. Just inform me one day prior, I'll come half an hour before time. We'll sit and solve all your doubts. No problem. Believe me, if past batch students have told you things, so they may have probably told you that there won't be scope also of doubts. Most doubts will get sorted even before you think of a doubt. I know what students think when it comes to this subject, what is going on in your mind. I understand it only by looking at your face, which is why even in online lecture, I insist that you have to keep your camera on, because in the past, especially during COVID times, I have seen that student lying down on the bed without clothes and watching. By mistake, the camera was on, but that's not how you study. Then I had to tell them, hey, camera on. I am not interested in the color of the wall behind you. Believe me, in COVID times, I have seen students are attending. Behind them, there is some family member watching how this lecture is happening without clothes. I have seen family members do this without clothes. Some people throwing utensils at each other, screaming at each other. But I have ignored all of that. My only concern is that the student who is attending the lecture, what is the change in expression every time I say something? Because expressions speak. Your face tells me whether you are understanding things or no. So by looking at your face, I should be able to understand that you have followed what I have taught. And I have enough experience to understand what doubt is going on in your mind even before you ask me, it gets sorted. But still, if you have doubts, come before. Most welcome. After class, I am ready. You will not wait. And in case we take a break, I said in case, mark the words. It's only a 4-hour lecture. 4 hours, may you think there is a break required? What's your name? Prerna. You know the meaning of your name? Inspiration. You know or you don't? Prerna means inspiration. What are you inspiring everyone in the class for? Some break. Don't take her as your inspiration, please. If we are ever doing any heavy topic, hard and heavy, it's a law ultimately. There will be some such topics. We will take a break. In a lecture like today. What have you done that you need a break? Let's be honest. So whenever required, break will be given, and that break will be required by me. If I am tired, I will take a break. You are just lucky that I'm tired. And I know you're praying, sir, why don't you get tired so frequently, often? No, I have bad news for you. I don't get tired when I'm working. It's only a 4-hour lecture. When I used to go to Kerala for taking lectures, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 12 hours. 15 days I used to finish CA final ka full batch and come home. 15 days flat, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 12 hours. Total break in 12 hours was 1 hour. Total break. 3 hours lecture. 15 minutes breakfast break. Again 3 hours ka lecture. We used to take half an hour ka lunch break. Again 3 hours ka lecture, 15 minutes tea break. And finally whatever is the balance time during the day. And it's not me who was not getting tired. The students also never at the end of the day, they are like, sir, didn't even realize when the time went. This also your previous batch ka friend must have told you if they nahi ye nahi bola bola nahi but all they told you was faculty is very young and handsome to which your reaction should have been that we will find out no once he comes to the class. So please be careful about these things. They are very, very important as far as your approach to the exam is concerned. Now let's talk about tax in CA course first. Then we go to tax as a subject. You have 2 exams, CA inter and CA final now to give. At inter, we have direct tax 50 marks, indirect tax 50 marks, and at final, we have both of them again for 100. Of course, my target is not IDT. IDT is basically your GST. How much do you know in GST? I am told your lectures are starting on Saturday. So till now, no lecture has taken. How much do you know about GST? Nothing. Us moment. You don't know us moment. Us bro, us. Same. So stop calling yourself James. If you don't know us bro, us. Same. I know as much as you as far as GST is concerned. So I'm not discussing that. I'm only discussing taxation. Do you realize this total is 300 marks out of 1200? Arey 6 and 6 no. Which simply means, kya sir? 25% of your upcoming exam is taxation hai. 25% of your last 2 exams of CA. See, everything is over, only 2 exams are left. Inter and final. Everything is over only, no? 25% is tax. Why, sir? Why tax is having so much weightage? Because the degree CA is synonym to this thing called, is synonymous, tax. The moment you hear the word tax, the only person that comes in your imagination is a chart. The moment you talk about tax planning, evasion is not the appropriate word, but evasion, if we want to do it, by showing it as planning, the only person who comes to your imagination is a perception matters. The moment you think about burgers, McDonald's first name. You don't think about Domino's, do you? But the moment you think about pizzas, Domino's. Now McDonald's will not come to you. The moment you think about yoga, only one person comes in your imagination. Huh? Baba Ramdev. Who else? Kamdev. Ramdev. Baba Ramdev is that guy who proved to the world that to sell products, you don't need half-dressed female models. A half-dressed male with a long beard is capable enough to sell anything and everything on the planet. Baba Ramdev. The moment you talk about rash driving, bro, be careful, this is Mumbai. We have Salman Khan. Perception matters. The moment no one talks about mineral water, we all say Bisleri. It's a brand. And what if I tell you that Xerox is the name of a company? It's a photocopy. Xerox company. It's a brand, not a task. Xerox can be photocopy. You didn't know this? Perception matters. The moment we talk about pull shot, Rohit Sharma, cover drive, bro, Virat Kohli must. 1 century, then 1 year single digit, then 1 century, then 1 year single digit. You never observe this pattern. Okay, no problem. Let's not get into, I'll end up offending some hardcore fans. Virat Kohli fans are still better than RCB fans. Anyone who is RCB fan, you are ashamed of admitting also. Achha, by the way, Virat Kohli fans are separate. Huh? You like RCB because of Virat? No. Then you are a Virat Kohli fan. You like RCB without Virat? Anyone? No. Bro, don't make fun of them. Huh? This time they will definitely win. Hearts. This time they'll win. Hearts. CA is the only person who understands taxation more than anybody else. CAs are studying 25% of their syllabus only as far as taxation is concerned. Do you understand the importance of this subject? In fact, when you go to articles, you'll have primarily only two options: audit or tax. Audit is also 200, no? 100 and 100. So audit and tax together make it 500 marks out of 1200. Auditing or taxation, they both have their pros and cons. See, now what is, I'll not talk good things about tax first, because if I talk about good things in tax, then I am biased. It is my subject. Audit ka best part is you get free travel, you get free food, because wherever your company will send you to check books of accounts, they have to give you traveling money, they have to give you food money. You get a lot of free things in life. But nature of work is what? Journal entries and bills. Check whether the entry is correct. Check if there is a bus ticket. The journal entry should be traveling expenses to cash bank, not telephone expense to cash bank. If it is telephone to cash bank, either make them correct the entry or write a note in your diary that this entry is wrong. Checking whether the accounts are matching the actual transactions is audit. There is no technical knowledge required, no legal knowledge also, only accounting knowledge required. That is audit. But yes, free food, big corporate office. Sir, my office, I can actually have an entire sea view. Then jump. It is not your office. You are a bloody corporate employee over there. And for all the free things that they are giving you, they are going to suck your blood in return. The two famous Hindi web series made on the CA course. Both are on an app called Amazon Mini TV. There is one web series called Half CA. Half CA actually has shown a very wrong picture and image of CA. Half CA is actually produced by a coaching class that is running engineering classes. A coaching class that is running engineering classes is making a web series on CA course and saying that people fail. Bro, 25 lakh students give engineering entrance exam in India every year, and there are 11,000 seats in engineering colleges. You check the pass percentage, 11,000 upon 25 lakh. And they are making a web series on failure in CA course. Continuous failure. Not the correct picture also, because not everyone fails. Those who do not have correct strategy, those who do not listen to their teachers, their strategy is wrong and they fail. There is another web series called Jamna Par. Again on Amazon Mini TV only. In that, the student gets All India rank 5 at CA final. And after being a rank holder in CA final, what mistakes he makes in his career, how he gets carried away. Because successful people know somebody or the other will approach you to do wrong things. So how he got carried away in life and what professional mistakes he made, the series is basically based on that. That shows an actual real picture. That he is from a very, very backward area from Delhi city. And then he goes and works in a very high-fi corporate office in South Delhi. The so-called hi-fi place of Delhi. And makes a lot of mistakes. People make fun of him because of his background, because of his area, because of his accent, his, not having command over the English language. Still he goes there because he wants that life. And then he makes a lot of mistakes. That was audit department because he was going and checking the books of accounts. You get a lot of free stuff, but it's very risky and there is no technical knowledge. And if we talk about tax, and there is bad news that you consider this as bad news, you won't get to go anywhere because taxation you have to work in your own office. You don't get to, you don't have the opportunity of traveling or meeting new people. In fact, now you don't even need an office. Our income tax department has become completely faceless. Sir, what do you mean by faceless? All notices are coming online and you have to type their reply and submit online. You are given user ID and password on income tax website. Log in and reply to notices. You don't even have to go to the income tax office. You don't even need your office. You just need one laptop and internet connection. And that is your office. Internet enabled dongles. Dongle, it has internet connected. You sit at a public place, sit at a park, if your house does not have enough space. You go and sit in Mumbai local train. Go and just buy a pass and sit at any station. And you can sit there and do your taxation work. Because you have to use knowledge of sections. Case laws come majorly in CA final. About how I can prove that my client is correct. It is like a court case. And you are the lawyer for your client. According to you, the tax is not payable. But according to the officer, the tax is payable. And we are fighting a case against each other. It can go to the court. There are special court. There is a court called Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, ICAI, created only for tax matters. Further thereafter, you can go to High Court, Supreme Court also. You are representing your client. And if you win a case, bro, people, once they know that you can win a case for them, they will be paying you lakhs and crores of rupees maybe for a single hearing also. You have to build that name. That one case can change your life. CA practice, no? Of late, students are not taking keen interest in that. Whenever you are asking, 100 students pursuing CA, not even 5 will say that, sir, I will start my own firm. Moving forward, CA practice is going to be a very, very, very lucrative area because people started their practice about 20, 25, 30 years ago. And they captured all the clients in the economy. New clients went to them only. So those who became CAs in the last 30 years decided to go and do jobs in industry. Some went and became celebrities. Some started their own companies. Some entered teaching profession. Last 30 years, new CAs have not started own firms. But now, one by one, all those CAs are near retirement. Their clients plus new clients with the digitalized economy, everybody is coming under compliance requirements. All your UPI wallets, whether your Paytm or Google Pay or Phone Pay, they are all KYC linked. So all those transactions that you are doing now, government is keeping track of all of them. Sooner or later, you will have to file your tax returns. But those CAs are retiring. New CA can actually capture, in this generation of CAs, if you capture all that work, so for the next 30 years, you are going to rule the practicing CA market. This is the best time in terms of results and in terms of starting your own office. And once upon a time, people were not starting offices only because of the overhead cost involved, the rent, the electricity, the staff salary. Today, you can start a CA firm without any of those costs. The moment you get one big client who is paying you about 6 to 8 to 10 lakh rupees per annum also, with that you can maybe start an office, one big client. But if you have small clients to begin with, you can actually work from home also. COVID has changed the culture altogether. So think about that also as an area. Audit and tax are your two options. While tax will not allow you to travel to multiple places, it will give you technical knowledge, and without any overhead cost also you can start your office. In audit, unless and until you hire assistants, you will not be able to run your office. Every bill you can't go and yourself check. You need assistance, and that will result in cost. But tax may you can without cost also do it. Articleship, start, audit or tax is a big criteria to decide where your career will be later made. If you choose audit, maybe rest of your life you will have to do audit only and vice versa. So I often suggest students that the bigger the firm, the more specialization they do. So if you go to big four CA firm, they won't give you audit and tax both. Tax. In tax only direct tax. In direct tax also they will give you company or individual. In company domestic or international. And then 2 years they will make you that only, you will not have exposure to anything else. As you come down, then there will be firms who will give you all types of direct taxes. Then there will be one level lower who will give you all taxation. One more level lower, we call them mid-size firms. They give you all the work because they want to keep limited people in their office. So if there is audit cover also, they will make you do, tax cover also they'll make you do, Companies Act cover also they'll make you do. They'll give you exposure to all kinds of work so that you can make an informed choice later. Yes, sir, I want to finally make a career in which of these areas. If you do only one activity, you will not be able to take that decision. So Big Four ka articleship is relevant only for those who want to be corporate employees forever. Because what happens with Big Four articleship on my resume when I say no, I have done articleship in Deloitte or PwC or KPMG or EY, the murderers. When you write that no in your resume, so a company like Tata, Birla, Reliance, Adani will absorb you very quickly. It will give you the entry ticket. That is only an entry ticket. Of course, now your performance will decide everything. But you will get very easy entry. Once you enter, over the years, you get promotions in the corporate ladder. You will become director in any company or CEO in any company. You will be having crores of rupees take home salary, but you will remain an employee. And Big Four is only for those who want to remain corporate employees forever. For starting your own practice, in case you are thinking about it, the smaller the firm, the better it is. There are so many CA firms which are run by proprietors. Only one owner, one assistant, couple of articles, but that's it. Now, what happens when there is limited staff? They have to make you do all the work. Plus, if they have to do any communication also with the officers, if they want to go and meet the officer, they need one person alone. They will take you in those meetings also. In Big Four firms, the big partners settle everything. They don't let you get involved. But in the smaller firms, due to lack of staff and enough trust over each other, your boss will actually take you to those meetings also, and that will give you that knowledge which any book or classroom can never give. I am personally against doing articleship in extremely big firms. Only times that you can go for them is if you want to make a permanent career as a corporate employee, as a CEO, as a director of a company like Tata, Birla, Reliance. Then maybe Big Four is suitable for you. If you want all-round personality development, then you have to the smaller firm. The smaller the firm, the better it is going to be. But start is going to be either audit or tax, and together they comprise of 500 marks. Taxation itself comprises of 300 marks. And of course, as you are aware, today I am teaching you this, but my target is going to be this because very soon, it's a matter of couple of years, and if your CA final exam is May 2028, so May 28 ka final ka batches will happen in October 27. So 24 is almost over, just 2.5 years from today, and again you have to study direct tax for your final ka exam. And everything taught to you here will also be repeated here. So your base has to be really strong. Sometimes you will see me discussing things which are not in your syllabus only because I want your base to be strong. Okay. And I know which topic where I have to discuss and where I don't have to. That is about relevance of taxation in your life as a chartered accountancy student and later your career. But now the question is, what is tax? If we have to study this subject in general, right now I'm not discussing direct tax. Direct tax I will come. Right now I am only talking about this total thing. What is tax? If I have to study a subject for 300 marks, because I am not talking about DT, I am not talking about inter, I am talking about total tax. Total tax in your life is 300, sir. How? 150 and 150? Array 50, 100, 50, 100. So if I have to learn something for 300 marks, 25% of my upcoming exams, so sir, I should at least begin with knowing. The base has to be from here, no sir. What is tax? Obviously, this question will not come in exam. What is tax? Define tax. This is not TY become economics. That they ask you definitions. Then you have to, in the middle of the page, put double inverted commas and give definition and write by Henry, some foreigner. Write anything of William Johnson. The moment you see a foreigner's name, you believe that definition must be given by someone. That you do in your economics. This question will not come in exam, but you still need to know this to be able to understand what will come in your exam. The question, ladies and gentlemen, is here in front of you. What is tax? What is tax? And try give the wrong answer. I want to understand how you people think. This is the first lecture. I need to develop an understanding of you people. So, what is tax? Try give prerna to the whole world. Try say something at least.
A type of revenue for the government because the services they provide.
Revenue for the government, of course, because of the services that they provide. What kind of services? If you would like to give some examples.
Public transport.
Public transport. Public transport का भी examples. Railways provided by the government. Bridges, you said. Yes. What's your name? Pratik. I know, symbol. Ha. Let me summarize what you said. See if this is what you said. You are saying this is payment to government. Revenue for government, matlab I am going to pay to the government for the services that the government has provided. You also gave me some examples about it. You said that government is providing me railway, government is providing me roads, bridges, roads, everything got covered. Government in fact is also providing me hospitals, free treatment. Near my house is a place called KEM, King Edward Memorial Hospital. It is supposed to be the biggest government hospital of, why are you laughing? It is known as the biggest government hospital. Of course, when you step into it, you'll faint and die. That's a different thing. And that is the story of every government hospital of the country. But the government is providing us hospitals. Government is providing us schools. In India, you get free education up to the age of 14 in government schools. And for everything you do in life, you first need paisa, then passion. Don't say, sir, I'm very passionate. No. The moment you are told to do something free of cost, your passion will go. You first need money, paisa. Then, I always say this, paisa first, passion then. So to do all this, government needs money. And therefore, government collects taxes, payment to government for services provided. This is what you said. Anything else anyone wants to add, discuss? These are the right times. Every time I say that let's discuss, you try. These are your opportunities to show that you have talent, which you do. So show it. Sir, I am not talented. Ask someone else. No? Anything which we earn, we have to pay. A part of it. I can't be paying anything that I earn. If I pay it to the government, so what will I be left with? Voting. So that is basically an example of tax that you are giving me. On my income, I pay tax. That is income tax. You may not be paying only on what you earn. You also pay on what you consume. So, these are examples of tax. We'll come to that in our, upcoming discussion. For the time being, we are only talking about what is tax. Because if this makes sense to everyone. Government is providing us so many free things, and for that the government needs money, and the money so collected by the government is going to be called as tax. With question again, that when the government came and told me that we are providing you roads, railways, hospitals, schools, I said, good, government, nice, very good, fantastic, but I don't want to. But I appreciate, but I don't want. हाँ, तो लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, हाँ, tax is not payment to government. Tax is compulsory payment to government. What's your name? इसका मीनिंग आई डोंट नो. You know? हे भगवान. नहीं, I don't want to know. कंपल्सरी पेमेंट है. You don't have the option of not paying. Sir, I am appreciating. Is that not good enough? No. You have to pay. Tax is compulsory payment to government for the services provided. Last question. Last question. Sir, I am not studied in a government school. I have never taken treatment in any government hospital. I have visited government hospitals because I work very actively in social organizations. I am trustee at a couple of places. So what happens is whenever we are doing anything professional, for example, we wanted to conduct a blood donation camp. So we had to go to a government hospital because any blood bank that is affiliated with state government, no, it becomes easy to later exchange blood bags. Supposingly you conduct a camp with a private hospital. So the hospital will give you cards. Then when you need blood, you can get only from that hospital. But if the camp was conducted by a government blood bank, so you can go to any other hospital. In Mumbai, there is one more hospital called Nair Hospital. We went there. So my team members took me. They always, wherever they have to talk in English, no, they tell me to talk because they only understand Marwadi. They are not able to talk in English or Hindi also for that matter properly. They take me along. And for this reason, probably they have made me a trustee for talking in English. So I went there to meet the head of the blood bank. I started talking in English. He was talking in Marathi. Finally, I also spoke in Marathi. And I told them that you could have come without me also. Ultimately, it is the local language, which all of them know. And it is mandatory that you need to know the local language. I do not belong to any political party. I don't come here with any political ambition. But I have traveled to Kerala. And I have seen that the most educated people, the biggest of firms, or you go to big four CA firm ka office in Kerala, the partners will talk to each other in Malayalam. In Kerala, there is no Hindu, Muslim, there is no Christian. You ask them, they tell you that we are Malayalis. Right, Anna? Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's not paying attention. So, hoga, sir. Whatever you are saying, we believe you are right in everything. Nahi. People always talk to each other only in Malayalam. Is that right? But somehow we do not seem to respect our local language enough here in Mumbai. We must and we should be communicating at least to those who know the language, and those who don't also should at least put efforts in learning. Local culture, local language is very, very important. The states of our country are demarcated on the basis of language spoken. Once upon a time, the western part of India was known as the Bombay Presidency. The north part of that was Gujarati speaking population and the southern part of it was Marathi speaking population. And then they were divided into two states of Gujarat and Maharashtra. And therefore, I don't know whether you are aware, 1st May 1960 is celebrated as Gujarat Day as well as Maharashtra Day. Both states were created together on the basis of language. Today, the southern part of Maharashtra, there is fight about it. There is a place called Belgavi. There is fight about it because it is predominantly Marathi speaking, but a part of Karnataka. So Maharashtra government says that this is Marathi speaking population, so Belgaum should be a part of Maharashtra. And basically the states have been created on the basis of language spoken. So we must often and always, in fact, respect our local culture, local language. Somehow, unfortunately, we don't seem to respect our local language enough. Political parties are doing it with a motivated agenda because they want to do something called polarization. They want to say that we are supporters of a particular language only to beat people speaking the other language. I don't belong to any party, so I don't have any such intention. I have been to South and I have seen people over there. In Tamil Nadu also people will speak only in Tamil with each other. Unfortunately, rest of India there is this problem. So finally, we spoke to each other in Marathi only. I told him that please come. Other than that camp, I have never taken any government hospital ka service or government school ka service. The last time I traveled by Mumbai local train is known as the lifeline. Now, without that, you cannot survive. But last time I sat in Mumbai local train was 2016, I believe. Last 8 years, I haven't used Mumbai local train. This is not show off. This is CA degree. This is CA degree. I am not comfortable, so I am not comfortable. With the CA degree, with the grace of God, I can afford to travel without the train also. Before 10 years, it was not like that. I used to take at least 4 or 5 train journeys in one day because I stay here, I have to go here for a lecture. So I have to travel here. Then second lecture was again near my house. So again come. Third lecture was given to me at another part, in another part of the city. So I had to go here. And then at night I had to again come home. I requested those class people that give me morning lecture here and these two lectures together, or give me morning here, last evening here, so that from here I can directly go home. But they purposely used to do this. Was seen those times and then reach this level. Nothing happens overnight. It takes some time, but with time everything is sorted. So basically, my challenge to the government is this: that I am not using your school or your hospital or your train. I don't want any of your services. Sir, don't say sir, but you are using road now. Okay, I will develop Ritik Roshan ka powers or Superman ka powers. So I will come to the class without the road also, in case I am able to do that. Matlab, I am not using any of this. So now I will not pay taxes. See, those who are using, of course, they need to contribute, but I don't want any of your services. Thank you, government. So I will not pay the tax. You said compulsory, no, but I'm saying I'm not using your services. So now I will not pay tax. हाँ बोलो.
आर्मी लोग जो लोग रहते हैं
क्या
टैक्स भी उनका ही सैलरी जो टैक्स पे करते हैं सैलरी उनका ही होता है.
नहीं, not just army people, police people also, income tax department का officer also, best buses, government buses conductor, drivers also, everyone is paid.
उनका तो सर्विस आप कर देते.
No, I am not using best bus.
So the other the government.
अच्छा, you mean to say कि army का facility और navy का facility government is giving, at least you are using the facility for the safety of the country. Other legal facilities मतलब?
And yes, if you are running some business, the land which is provided and other legal permissions which are taken by the government
What kind of permissions?
for the business, or it is used for export and import also.
हाँ, तो for everything government is going to take charges from. So for example, government का port area, I have imported some goods, so I will take export import exim license. I will pay money for that also. For using the port area, I will be paying rent. I am paying all the charges of actual consumption. But I am saying someone who is not using at all. What about that person? Question wo hai. You understood? See, you spoke about things which I am using, and I am ready to pay the charge for anything that I use. Supposingly government hospital, I use it. I am ready to pay the charge. But then why you are taking tax when I am paying the charge? That is the question. So you have to pay. Now just let me tell you, soon you will learn in this syllabus itself that even if you are not a citizen, you have to pay tax. It is not necessary that you have to be a citizen. It will be taught to you. So it's okay. I appreciate that you tried. Okay. The answer to this is government is saying we are giving services. You take these services or you don't take. We need money to provide service. And very rightly said, sir. Army, Navy, Air Force ka service we don't go and take daily. And you don't go to the border and say, uncle, a gun, try color. One bullet, uncle, one, please. You don't go and do that on a daily basis. Do you understand? There are certain services which we don't need, but they are implemented for us only. Any new thing in the infra, whether a new road or a new bridge, is improving quality of life. The water supply that is coming to your house, you can't say, sir, I don't use it. We can't come and check every day. Government has made a public park. Government has installed benches in that park. We can't come and check every day whether you're sitting on that bench or whether you're walking in that park or not. We are providing, and for providing we need money. So let us be clear, whether you avail or you don't avail for the services government needs money, you will have to make payment, which effectively means taxes, compulsory payment to government for services provided, whether the services are availed or not availed. That is tax. And this brings me to my next question here. Sir, why government? So supposingly roads, no, I will make better than the government. Railway, I will provide better than the government. Hospital, school, everything I will provide. In fact, better quality than the government. Will you pay me the taxes? No. Duryodhan, what is your real name? Shivam Gupta. So, where do you stay? Huh? Right in front of this building. Road पे. So say no, opposite building. Acha, you so nearby. Acha. And stupid question to ask you, how do you travel? I have probably picked the wrong person here. Walking. You use the road. Arey, walking, you must be using the road only, no? If you are staying in the opposite building, so you must be walking, no? ये best है, because you know anybody who is staying far away and saying that, sir, I travel by bus or by train or I take a taxi, so then there would have been confusion that at least something you are using, no? But he is probably that only guy who I was not even aware, I randomly picked you, who is effectively not using anything, no? Opposite building, what floor? So I will make one bridge from your ground floor to our class window direct. No need to use government road, direct entry. Direct from your house to class and then back from class to your house. So no need to use any government road. Nothing. I am providing you the road. I am providing you. In fact, you need anything else also. No. You need a hospital. You need a school. I am ready to do whatever the government is doing. So pay me the tax. Will you pay me the tax? So one thing is clear. We are going to pay tax to the government, but not to the any private party. Matlab not to me or not to anybody else. We will pay tax only to the question is why only the government? Why only the government? You understand the question? We understood in question 1 that tax will be paid by everyone to the government. But why only to the government and why not anybody else is my question.
Constitution with the power.
This was the fastest ever. Fastest. I get lot of answers. Yes, sir. Some I have had answers from CA students like this. Huh? So government is government. Sir, government. So government on. Sir, government is obviously government is government. I have had these answers. I have had extreme vague answers. Some have said, sir, government is taking less money for those services. Then I had to say, I will take less money. I will take exactly what amount government is taking. I am willing to do everything that the government is doing. Then why only the government? After all answers, finally after 10-15 minutes, I get a student who says this. And believe me, this is the fastest that it has happened. The hidden legal reason here is the Constitution of India, the senior most law of the country. Senior most. By the way, Constitution was adopted on 26 January 1950. Now, for those of you who don't know, sir, why we celebrate Republic Day, all you know is, sir, it's a public holiday, it's a dry day. Other than that, you know anything about Republic Day? Why we celebrate it? Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, father of Indian Constitution, he wrote the Constitution and India adopted the Constitution. India became the sovereign, socialist, secular republic country. Independence we got in 1947. But India adopted its own constitution in 1950, and this makes me, have more and more feeling of happiness, pride of having the CA degree, because CA Act was enacted in 1949, 1 year before adoption. You didn't know this? 1 year before adoption of Constitution, Chartered Accountants Act 1949. Before that, there were some government recognized accountants who used to go and check the accounts of some limited companies of those days. But there was no regulatory body who is going to check all of them. So then government decided to enact a law, pick up these selected handful accountants and said that we will register you under this set of rules and regulations. The set of rules and regulations is known as charter. And if you comply with these rules and regulations, you will be known as chartered accountants. First CA of the country, gentleman called Mr. Gopal Das Padamsi Kapadia, GP Kapadia as we call him. His firm is still running, one of the big firms of Mumbai city. His membership certificate was recently floating on social media. Membership number 00001 awarded to CA Gopal Das Padamsi Kapadia. At the bottom of the certificate, you always have president ka signature. Sign of President GP Kapadia. So the certificate was awarded by GP Kapadia to GP Kapadia. Immense respect, the person responsible for creation of ICAI, and you can say first person of our family, the person who started this family of 4 lakh and lakhs coming up. But this only goes to prove that we are manipulating documents even before our body was created, where he signed his own membership certificate. Abhi, of course, first CA ka certificate who will sign? He himself. He signed his own membership certificate. So CA Act was enacted 26 Jan CA Act 1949. Constitution of India was adopted 26 January 1950. Republic Day. And Constitution of India is considered as the senior most law of the country. Seniority does not come with age. I tell you, no, even today in CA final, I have so many students who are elder than me in terms of age. Highest is 62-year-old, which I told you. I have one student in CA final who was my classmate when I was in 10th standard. We used to sit together. Now he is my student at CA final. What simple hai. I decided this is the only attempt, and he decided there are so many attempts. I am teaching since 14 years. He is giving exams since 14 years. And there is no end to it. You decide last attempt, matlab last attempt. Finish. After this, I will not give exam. And there are so many, married students, married females who, while in CA final, got married, started a family, took a break of 10-15 years. Now kids have grown up. Now is resuming the CA course. I said, it's your fault. You should have started your family after completing. Because coming back in the study zone is a very difficult thing once you are out of it. But so fair enough. Final, I get so many students who are elder than me. But I tell them clearly, India is a democracy outside my classroom. If it is not clear, let me make it clear. In my classroom, it is a dictatorship and I am the Hitler. So whatever be your age, seniority does not come with age. Constitution of India in terms of age is younger. There are laws in our country enacted before Constitution. Bro, Indian Contract Act 1872, Sale of Goods Act 1930, Partnership Act 1932. They were all enacted before Constitution. But if they say anything which is against the Constitution, that is void. No law can go against the Constitution. No individual can go against the Constitution. Violation of Constitution is a crime. So in terms of effect, the Constitution is the senior most law of the country. And it is the Constitution of India which has given us this, what I did. First, they wrote the Constitution. It is divided in articles. Like laws are divided in sections, Constitution is divided in Article 370 was, in the news, abrogation of special status to Jammu and Kashmir. Movie also made on that. So Constitution, yes, is divided in articles, but where the Constitution gets over, they have written explanatory schedules. You have working notes to accounts. So they have written something called explanation to the Constitution, and in the Constitution there is Schedule 7, which has given 3 lists. List 1 is known as the Union List, which has given powers to the central government to collect taxes. For example, income tax is in list 1, which means that in this country, government is at 3 levels. Central government, headed by the Prime Minister of India. Who is the Prime Minister of India? Narendra. State government, headed by the Chief Minister. Who is the Chief Minister, at least of Maharashtra? Devendra Fadnavis. Bro, abhi in my previous batch, it was something else. And at that time, I said, okay, this is the Chief Minister of Maharashtra right now. Evening ka I can't take any guarantee. Because last 2.5 years of Maharashtra have been very, very dicey. From morning, someone else, evening, someone. Maharashtra though literally did Akshay Kumar of CM, Deputy CM. Akshay Kumar? CM, Deputy CM. Kerala mein who is the CM? Pinarayi Vijayan, is it? हाँ. Tamil Nadu में कुछ नहीं बोला सर, जो भी है, you make anyone. Stalin, MK Stalin. हाँ. I have Kerala का, Tamil Nadu का, all places का students. I told you at the beginning, फैला हुआ काम. Bro, 14 years and thousands of students, and any state of the country नहीं, any district of any country. Any country, any district of India का any. Obviously, Pakistan में there is no CA exam, and even if there are CA exams, I am not catering to those students. But yeah, I think I should, because together we can have a blast. But outside India, wherever there are ICAI exam centers, for example, there is ICAI exam center in UAE, there is one in Nepal, there is one in Kuwait. Wherever there are centers, we have students. I have students everywhere. So Stalin is the CM of Tamil Nadu. Pinarayi Vijayan, a gentleman, is Chief Minister of Kerala. Maharashtra mein it is now Mr. Fadnavis, which believe now there is stability in the government. So now maybe for the next 5 years we will have a stable government. These guys head the respective state. And then we have government also at the local level. For example, we have Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai. We call it the local authority. You are aware of that? All of them collect taxes in one form or the other. But taxes on what you earn, your income related taxes, is a power of central government, because written in this list. Anything that is written in this list is always going to be a power of central government. State governments or local authorities cannot interfere in these matters. So if you earn income and government wants tax on that income, only central government. You go home today with a very, very important part of knowledge. Exam, this won't come in exam. But knowledge wise, you are more informed today that in our country, income tax, there may be some taxes collected by state government or local authority, but taxes on income in our country will be collected by central government. There used to be some years ago a tax called wealth tax, but it was abolished in 2015. There, used to be a tax called gift tax. If you receive gift, pay tax on the gift received. But some years ago, what they did, they amended the Income Tax Act. They said we will include gift in the definition of income. So you have different sources of income. You have your salary income or your business income, and you add your gift received also in that income. We levy income tax. It will take care of gift tax. Somewhere in 2015, when Modi ji was celebrating his first anniversary, SPM, मिलोनी नहीं, वो that is not official as yet. अरे वो जरा कभी, you've not heard Modi ji and his songs? नहीं, Modi ji का song. What an excellent singer he is. नहीं, Modi ji. नहीं, listen. First lecture is uploaded on YouTube for publicity purposes. And then if you refer to political figures continuously now, so YouTube has an algorithm stating that you're doing political ads. So they push your video behind. So we can't be taking the name of a politician again and again. Actually, YouTube algorithm checks the whole audio of the entire video of 3-4 hours. And any political leader mentioned in that, so they reduce the effect of that video overall. Social media का algorithm. So we'll talk about Milani. We fail to understand whether to call her bhabhi or auntie or dadi. You don't know Milani? अरे ये सहरा. Modi ji, when he was becoming Prime Minister as a candidate, he had promised that I will bring all the undisclosed income of Indians lying abroad. He said Indians have huge amount of Kadu Nanu. Gujus here? Anyone? No? Nanu in Gujarati means money and Kadu means black money. And I will bring all that money back to the country. And for that he made a law. The Black Money Undisclosed Foreign Income and Asset and Imposition of Tax Act. In short, we call it the Black Money Act. I have an objection here. This is not fair, dear government. You can't be calling a law Black Money Act. You can call it Undisclosed Income Act, Concealed Income Act. This is highest form of racism. Where our government, this is racist. Our government is clearly saying black money means bad money. This is not acceptable. I would have called it something else, but the actual name of this law is Black Money Act. CA final mein direct tax takes 70 lectures of 3 hours. So it is a little over 200 hours total duration. Full syllabus is income tax. Last lecture, last 2.5 hours will be this law called Black Money Act. Very, very small. So not a part of intermediate syllabus. Directly comes in CA final and only 2 hours lecture. 2 hours mein the full law will get. Very small law. But it's a direct tax which will be collected by the central government. Some years ago, in fact, we also had a tax called service tax. Of course, we know that it is now abolished and included in GST. But what I am right now trying to make you understand is list 1 will cover those matters on which rules will be made by central government. Now let's talk about list 2. Again given where? Constitution. We call it the state list. Here all the taxes will be collected by the state government. For example, tax on agriculture. If there is ever any tax to be levied on an activity called agriculture, it will be levied by the state government. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, the central government does not have any power to tax the activity of agriculture. Now, did I tell you that knowledge is going to be given more respect than exam in my class? I have one such example for you. Are some of you all aware that in India there is no income tax on agriculture? Farmers are immune from income tax. Here and there you must have heard from someone or read somewhere or newspaper or TV channel debate or casually from some family member. You heard about it. Today you will know the reason behind it. You know there is no income tax on farmers. But why, sir? Because farmers are making crazy money. I am not talking about the farmers of our state, Maharashtra, because believe me, Maharashtra's farmer is currently in the worst condition in the entire country. While we are talking to each other, there is a farmer who has killed himself. The geography is not favoring farming because Maharashtra mein, you have one area where there is not a single drop of water. There is a region called Marathwada. And about 200 kilometers from that place, there are floods. The crops are destroyed. There are places called Solapur, Sangli, Satara in Maharashtra, where crops have been destroyed because of floods. Unfavorable geography. So Maharashtra farmers, horrible condition. But go to Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, the geography is very, very favorable. Like during summers, they get the proper summers for those crops. And they get the proper winters also for those crops. And rains are never so heavy in North India that they end up destroying the crops. Maharashtra Konkan region has highest rainfall, maybe worldwide, I think. India highest rainfall, there's one more place called Cherrapunji. But then Konkan is also a heavy rain dominated area during the season, at least. The farmers in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan are making crores of rupees, but they are not paying income tax. Sir, why are they not paying income tax? They should pay something. Now I'll tell you the legal reason, the constitutional reason behind this. If there is ever any tax to be levied on agriculture, who has the power to do so? State government. Agriculture. Any tax on agriculture can come only on or only by the. And if we have to levy any tax on income, that power is with the. So income tax can be levied only by. And agriculture ka any tax. Maybe you are using agricultural land, so pay this fixed amount per annum. Maybe you want a farming license to pay this fixed amount per annum. All those taxes will be taken by the. So central government cannot touch agriculture and state government cannot touch income. Central government cannot touch agriculture. State government cannot touch, and therefore there cannot be income tax on agriculture. There cannot be, irrespective of what they are earning, there will never be. The only way in which it is possible is an amendment to the Constitution. Sir, what kind of amendment? Sir, option 1, you include income tax in list 2. Remove it from list 1 and include in list 2. Then, will income tax and agriculture tax both come within the powers of state government? The state government can levy income tax and agriculture ka tax. The state government will start taking income tax on agriculture. You think there is something written here? Central government? P. Pagal? P. I said P only, no? Not what you thought. Nahin, na? Because they want tax from agriculture, they end up losing their whole income tax by giving income tax to. So this is never going to happen. What is the second possibility? Remove agriculture from list 2 and put it in list 1. Now both will come in the powers of. Now central government can levy income tax and agriculture tax. So central government can tax agriculture, levy income tax on. But bro, that will also not happen. Because in our country, farmer, cow, Shri Ram, army, these are sensitive topics. I repeat the names. Farmer, cow, Shri Ram, armed forces, they are sensitive topics. The moment you start talking about them, The other party is not interested in what you're talking. They will understand less and misinterpret more and will convert into a controversy. So our government is saying you are normal loss. You understand normal loss? We will collect more taxes from people here. We are living in the Sitaraman era of income tax law. Bro, she has made dimag ka dahi, and knowing her, she will levy GST on that dahi also. This is Sitaraman for you. You know Sitaraman? I often say this in every batch that I go. There is a lady who has ruined my life. But this time I am not talking about my wife. She has tortured the entire professional lobby. Bringing illogical changes in the law is her hobby. Crazy, she is crazy. Like literally when she was taking the oath second time in 2024. Believe me, I actually posted because at that time ministries were not given, only oaths were given. So who will get what? I said this is the scariest image on the internet right now. And finally, I am taking a lecture, and in the middle of the lecture, some students come and tell me, sir, she is given finance again. I said, you have poison in your pocket. That day when I was going home, I was actually checking while entering my home who got which ministry. I was again confirming Ministry of Finance, Nirmala Sitaraman. While entering my house, I was looking in the phone and speaking some inappropriate words. And I didn't notice my mother was sitting on the sofa. Has it happened ever with you that you were caught speaking words that you should not be speaking? And my mom, like a loudspeaker, she started blasting. Like, you don't have manners of what you're talking about. You're talking about a female. You have any sense? I said, she has ruined my life. You are my mother, no? Some time, please. She has made my life hell for the last 5 years, and now she's going to carry on for the next 5 years. And Indian mothers, as you are aware, her answer was, maybe you have done some wrong deeds. This is punishment to you. I have not. And give me any other punishment. So stop giving me food. Dip me in acid. That is still not as dangerous as the Sitaraman. Hey Bhagwan. So she has started taking more taxes from people here. Recovery of the loss that they are having by not taxing agriculture. Any tax on agriculture will be levied by state government. Any tax on sale of goods. Once upon a time, we used to have a tax called VAT. If you sell goods within the state, you will levy VAT. And if you sell goods to other states ka people, we used to have a tax called CST, Central Sales Tax. VAT and CST. Of course, with GST, this is also now included because internationally, developed countries have the concept of consumer of goods or service has to pay a common tax called GST. India distinguished tax on goods and tax on services for many years. Service ka tax was going to central government, goods ka tax was going to state government, but to match it with global policies and principles, they said goods and service ka tax will be merged into one, which is why today on every bill in which you are paying GST, you will observe that a portion of that is going to central government and a portion is going to state government in the form of state GST and central GST, CGST and SGST. Because we are merging tax on goods and service. Now that means central government is losing this and state government is losing this. So in this tax, we will give both of them some share. That is the idea behind GST, that consumers have to pay common tax whether they are consuming goods or service, and government will be sharing that tax because both of them are leaving foregoing one of their taxes. While we say that VAT and CST are removed, believe me, excise, VAT, CST are not actually completely removed. All your favorite products are still under VAT and excise regime. For example, favorite products still have excise and VAT. You don't know? Petroleum, but petrol, diesel are still under excise and VAT. But yes, the only thing that clicked to you was alcohol. Alcohol is still also under excise and VAT. You could have said petroleum, but all you wanted to say was alcohol. Sir, you said favorite. No, now how can petrol be favorite, sir? So no one drinks petrol, sir. They are both included in GST, which is why GST revenue is shared between the two governments. So list 1 will contain those taxes which will be levied by the central government, and list 2 will contain those taxes which will be levied by the state government. Ye correct hai? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. List 3 is known by something called concurrent list. Here there are no taxes. These are matters of public importance and both governments are responsible. Central government cannot say that go and ask state government or vice versa. For example, health. Both governments are responsible. For example, education. Both governments are responsible. Safety and security. You know, you will see Union Health Minister and State Health Minister. Union Education Minister, State Education Minister. Union Home Minister, State Home Minister. Because certain matters, both governments are responsible. But as far as collection of taxes is concerned, central government will collect these taxes and state government will collect these taxes, not because their choice, but because it is the Constitution of India that has empowered them to do so. The power to collect taxes comes from operation of Constitution of India. So we understand our first question, sir, what is tax? And second, why only to the government? And this brings us to our third question in this introduction. There are two types of tax. We have something called direct tax and indirect tax. Obviously, this in your syllabus is 50 plus 100. I am not checking your maths by doing 50 plus 100. That is inter plus final. And this also is 50 plus 100, 150. Moving forward, I have to teach you only this. And believe me, right now I have to teach you only this. But I want your base to be strong enough for this as well. And therefore, the full 150 marks will be our target. But yes, while I am not going to teach you this, at least you should know the difference between direct tax and indirect tax. Sir, we have to study both. 150 plus 150, 300 marks. But we should be still aware of what is the difference between direct tax and indirect tax. Anyone wants to try? Don't say, sir, direct tax is direct and indirect tax is indirect. You have any better answer? Then please try. Sir, direct tax started on Tuesday, indirect we start on Saturday. Sir, you are asking distinguish. In school, when we were told about distinguish, we used to draw a line in between and write anything. Hardware versus software. Hardware is hard. Software is soft. Hardware is not soft. Software is not hard. You have anything better than that, please? Again, these are examples, but I take them as examples. No problem. Direct taxes are not levied on income because income tax is just one of the examples. Once upon a time, it was also on wealth. Even today, if we catch you having something called black money, does not mean only income. You have any foreign undisclosed asset also. See, income you must have earned some years ago, but now you have invested that in any asset, maybe a bank account, maybe property, maybe jewelry. So that also will be covered. Not just income, but asset also will be covered. And therefore, income is only an example. Though indirect tax is still, you are too close because most of the indirect taxes of the country are removed and merged into one law, that is GST. Excuse me. So most of the indirect taxes are removed. So that way you are sounding appropriate only. Sir, kya? On goods and services. But direct taxes we still need to improvise. Anything else?
सर डायरेक्ट टैक्स पे लायबिलिटी और पेमेंट की जो कंडीशन है वो एक ही पर्सन पे होती है एंड इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स वो पहले किसी और पे होता है लेकिन पेएबल इज कंज्यूमर.
You are explaining or confusing? I know that you know the answer, but you are not able to put it in the proper words. Thank God. आपका नाम? Eh? You are confusing me in this also now. You are also Pratik. You also Pratik? Eh? Akash. Adnan. Tej. धीरे धीरे करके I will learn all the. I have this special talent. By the end of the batch, I know all the names. In a batch size of 150, 200, 250 also wherever I am teaching. Whatever be the batch size. I had many times when I used to go to Ahmedabad, there I used to have 600 plus students in one batch. It was not a classroom, it was an auditorium. Forget about the names. There were some faces also which I had never seen, because I used to walk and start my lecture on the podium, on the stage, similar infra. I have my tab in which I am writing, and whatever I am writing is visible on screens put at regular intervals. The student walking in after the lecture starts. So I have not seen the face, and leaving the class while I am also packing my bag. So again, I have not seen the face. So except that, if the batch size is about 200, 250, I will know the names of the students. Okay, dhire dhire karke, I will learn all of them. So don't confuse me purposely by keeping same names. Okay? Purposely you all have kept same names, no? Only to understand. Direct taxes are levied on person. You said income, no? Income was not correct. It is on person. Indirect taxes, it was right. Indirect taxes will be on goods and services. That's one thing that you have to understand. A lot of people talk like, style wala language. They say, sir, direct taxes are progressive in nature. Indirect taxes are regressive in nature. Then I say, explain. Sir, progressive and regressive. Sir, understand what happens. Direct taxes ka one example is income tax. So you will pay that tax only if you have income. Higher your income, higher will be tax collection. Means government literally wants you to progress. The more you progress, the more taxes will go to the government. The more the country progresses as a whole, government will get more and more in the form of direct taxes. High collection of direct taxes simply means country is progressing. And only if you are having income, you will pay that. But why indirect taxes are regressive? Indirect taxes will take your country backwards. Indirect taxes will contribute to inflation. Because if I have to buy something as a consumer, whether I actually have the money for my goods or I don't have money for my goods, if I buy those goods, I have to pay for the taxes also. I want to buy something as simple as curd or milk, which is a necessity. On consumption, I will have to pay indirect taxes. That I don't have money for milk also, but I have to pay for the milk and the taxes. This will be paid only by the rich people. This will be paid by everyone, even those who cannot afford. On consumption, everyone has to pay tax. What's your shubh now? What were you thinking? Why did you think before answering? 2-3 names you have. Which one to say? No? Hitesh. How do you travel to class? By bus. From where? Kalachok. Where? We'll go together. नहीं डेट पे नहीं आई एम टेकिंग आई डोंट हैव सच बियर्ड फैंटेसी मी टू काला चौकी Nearby. Abhyudanagar is walking distance from my house. 2 minutes from my. You know that shop? Mazgaon Wines. You must be knowing, no? Opposite to that only. On the main road. हाँ, ठीक है जाने के टाइम पे ठीक है नहीं नहीं ब्रो यू गो अलोन आई विल गो बाय माय सेल्फ नो नहीं तो हितेश to travel by bus and during the day today you must have eaten food or milk or anything like that tea whatever you prefer to drink morning mein to we drink milk and tea only no the evening ka I am not asking evening ka I am not morning only we are discussing milk tea breakfast lunch also you must have taken or no okay now after my lecture gets over you will eat lunch you've eaten food during the night you are wearing clothes नहीं आई एम आस्किंग यू उधर चेक क्या कर रहा है तो हैव यू पेड टैक्स टुडे yes you have because whatever you consume अच्छा you paid no so in that consumption whatever you paid there was some component of tax hitesh you don't have any income also you are a student no I am not ऐसा नहीं I'm not making fun of you that hey you don't have income I also started having income after I entered the profession as a student I also was surviving on pocket money given by parents which is okay and understandable it's a phase in life you are a student so today your own income I'm assuming you know maybe you have some a talent like you're a good singer or you are a good dancer or any such talent and you are a good stand-up comedian or for you perform in shows and you are getting paid is an exceptional case otherwise normally in student life we don't have it. Unless you maybe you are a professional sports person maybe I am saying bro maybe example I am taking but normally we don't have income still you have to pay every time you are eating food no you're buying something you have to pay your consumption based taxes and therefore indirect taxes are considered as regressive because they are based on consumption and last distinction is this is what this Pratik was trying now surname kya hai Jadhav मोरे ठीक है पीजे अरे वही है ना एनपीएम he was trying to say this poor guy only could not put it in words so what is this let us understand this that direct taxes will go from your own pocket and once paid you are not going to get any compensation matlab the person paying to the government and the person from whose pocket ultimately the liability is going to be spent is the same person but here we are going to pass the burden to the consumer means indirect taxes work like this consumer will pay to the seller and seller will pay to the means person responsible to the government is the seller in case the taxes are not paid the government will catch hold of the seller the shopkeeper but seller does not have to pay from own pocket here the person paying the tax and the person responsible to the government towards the government are different people this person is paying this person is paying this person is paying indirectly through the seller but here it is directly we paying to the government direct taxes mein the person paying to the government is the same person from whose pocket it is ultimately going but in indirect taxes he will pass on the burden and that is what you are trying to say that is the main difference but when I do an example you'll get better understanding for example there is a coaching class and there is a student coaching class will obviously provide service to the student and Student will obviously pay fees. Example, the fees amount is rupees 1 lakh. Both of them are getting something. Coaching class is getting income and student is getting service. The coaching class, you have to tell me, is receiving what? And therefore coaching class will have to pay tax on income. This tax has to be paid from own pocket. From this 1 lakh only we will have to pay, and once gone, it's gone forever. I am not going to be able to get it back or recover it from anybody else. I am not going to get any kind of compensation for the same. Do you understand this? But if we talk about the student, what is the student receiving? Service. So you have to pay tax on that service. But you will not pay to the government. You will pay to the class, and class will pay to the, matlab, who is paying the tax? Student. But who is responsible towards the government? Coaching class. I'll tell you the reason, sir. Sir, is this class paying tax on income? Is the class paying tax on income? And class is only responsible towards the government. So here, why is the government unnecessarily interfering with the class? Who has to pay this tax? Student. Then take it from the student. I'll explain the reason. I'll explain why indirect taxes are levied indirectly. Why we are not taking it directly. I'll explain that. Please understand. Class has received 1 lakh. If the class fails to pay the tax, government can catch the collar of the class owner and from that 1 lakh snatch the tax proportion. Is that possible to recover from 1 lakh? Fantastic. Student has received knowledge which is in the brain. For that knowledge, the student has to pay the tax on service, GST. In case the student fails, the government cannot catch the student, open his brain and remove some knowledge. Class has money. Money can be recovered from money, but money cannot be recovered from knowledge. And therefore, the person having money will be responsible for both taxes. Matlab, class has to pay direct tax on own income and indirect tax on the student service. A class owner is saying like, sir, service I have not received, I will not pay. You don't pay. You collect from the student and pay. So it is not your responsibility to pay from your pocket. You are only responsible to ensure that the government gets money. Because if you give your service and then the student does not pay, we will not be able to remove his knowledge. But do one thing, if the student does not pay the tax to you, you don't give your knowledge only. Give the knowledge to the student only if the student is ready to pay the fees plus the tax part. And therefore, we are making the class responsible for both tax on own income and tax on service of the student. Own income ka tax will go from own pocket, but student ka tax you just have to collect from the student and pay to the government. And because you are acting as an intermediary, it becomes indirect tax. And one last distinction between direct tax and indirect tax, this will also help you in your syllabus, that indirect taxes will always come on the gross amount. Because if I ask you, what is the value of service consumed by the student? What is the value of service consumed by the student? 1 lakh? 1 lakh, no. The student has to pay tax on, has to pay tax on 1 lakh. That's the value of the service, no. The student has to pay tax on 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. But direct taxes will always be on the net amount, because you got to understand that class ka income is not 1 lakh. Student ka service consumption is 1 lakh, but class ka income is not 1 lakh. This 1 lakh is just one of the receipts during the year. Like this, supposing this class has 100 students. So the total collection is 1 crore. This is still the receipt. This is not the income. In order to run the coaching class only. Any business there is expense, but I am talking about coaching class because that is the example. There will be some expenses. For example, you have rent of 1 lakh per month. So from that 1 crore, you will have to pay 12 lakh rupees, no? Rent. You will have electricity expenses. You will have admin staff salary. Coaching class we are keeping in mind and discussing example. You will have printing and stationery expenses. You will have expenses for hiring faculty. They pay too less, bro. Too less. I am telling you. If I start discussing that now, I'll end up crying. I must tell you. Too less. Once you are comfortable with me, I will take all of you all in the admin office and we will together shout slogans. Increase the salary of tax faculty. High, coaching class, high. एक मिनट, tax faculty, direct tax. And all your installments are paid. Because क्या होगा, if you shout slogans for increasing my payment, so your installment may probably increase. So you have that no dues का certificate, no, that everything is paid. So now you are safe. So now you can come and shout slogans. Bro, whatever they pay too less, I'm telling you. But whatever they pay, is that still an expense? So minus all the expenses, the net profit is the income. Do you understand? Direct taxes will come on that net amount. Matlab income minus the expenses. The expenses incurred will always be subtracted, and only on the profit there will be tax. So you will always see that indirect taxes is on the selling price, but income tax is on the net profit. And logic is simple. Student is consuming service worth 1 lakh. So student has to pay 1 lakh. But class is not earning income worth 1 lakh. Class ka net profit is something else only. But of course, in that calculation, this 1 lakh will also be considered. You understood? So this class will pay from own pocket and this class will collect from student and pay. And therefore, the names direct and indirect taxes. Sir, progressive, regressive again. As the class ka income increases, the income tax will increase. So progressive. But here, student will have to pay the service tax, the GST now, whether the student has income or no income. Now don't come and say, sir, what if we go and tell in the office that we will give cash, no receipt? And I know some have tried that also. That is evasion. Legally, you are liable. To avoid, you are evading. Class will very happily take it because receipt does not have to be given. So in fact, class also does not have to declare that 1 lakh and save tax on that 1 lakh. That 1 lakh is not the final answer of the class, but in that total, there will still be 1 lakh lower, no? And you also save 18,000. Good idea, no? But sir, we have already paid. So ठीक है, try that in final now. But do you understand this? Cash payment, cash is not declared. That is why Modi ji from day one is, having one agenda: cashless economy, cashless economy. Because parallel economy is creating loss of tax revenue. Understood or no? Understood now? So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was your distinguish between direct tax and indirect tax. So now we know what is tax, why government is collecting the tax, what is direct tax and indirect tax, and now we focus on what we have to study: direct tax. For direct tax, we have only one law, that is Income Tax Act. It's a big, massive law. Big law, bro, big law. Obviously divided into sections. This is the beginning of the law, first section. This is the last section. 50% of direct tax, that is Income Tax Act, is a part of syllabus of CA Inter. 50%. Matlab, we have only one law, and that also half. Only one law, that also half. First half of direct tax, income tax law is a part of syllabus of CA Inter, and therefore second half will be the CA final syllabus will be the नहीं, this is CA final का syllabus, that is 100%. Plus, while this is the full syllabus of CA final, just 1-2 hours extra of which you can ignore also right now, because that 2 hours does not come in the counting anywhere. Your focus is only one direct tax law in the country, that is Income Tax Act. In that also only 50% is in your syllabus, and still it is a never ending syllabus. 18 chapters in CA Inter and 44 chapters in CA Final Direct Tax. 44 will contain these 18. But you still have these extra topics never studied before. But a lot of theory of this extra part is easy to understand if your this base is very clear. So while we study this for 50 marks, we are going to study this for 100 marks. And we very clearly now understand that today's 50 marks is going to be fully repeated when you come to CA final. So this makes you understand and realize how important this law is going to be even at intermediate. If 50 marks is your target and only CA Inter is your target, believe me, if you don't study direct tax, still you can clear CA Inter. Because IDT, indirect tax, in terms of size and in terms of difficulty level, size and difficulty both, one third of DT. So your direct tax lectures will be Monday to Saturday. Indirect tax will be only Saturday, Sunday. Sunday ka duration is a little bigger compared to Saturday. And they will both get over together. Someone was asked that how big is IDT? The reply was 500 pages. Baap re. And DT? Baap re plus baap re plus baap re. DT is, oh my god, into 3. Indirect tax into 3, both size and difficulty. Historically, traditionally, we have seen students give CA Inter exams only by studying indirect tax. And from 50 marks, it is so easy to score 40, 45. Very easy. Indirect tax is ridiculously easy. So now, people get 45 in indirect tax. They don't touch DT at all. They still pass because individual subject 45 done, and aggregate they manage because in group 1 you have accounts also, etc. Total you will manage. If you give both groups together, you will get costing also, you will get FM also. Total will manage. But when it comes to this part of CA final, they are completely blank. Like literally, you won't believe. I have had thousands of students who at Inter, they are in any of the neighboring buildings. Then when they are told by their friends that if you want your concepts to be strong and not just exam but a career, so then make a better choice. So final may they come with their friends to me. And like literally I have to teach them like I am teaching intermediate students because they don't know anything in the basics. And our target from day one is going to be this full 100 along with this 50. And in any case, this 50 is also going to fully repeat. But we have to at intermediate study only Income Tax Act, nahi, only half. of Income Tax Act. At inter, we have to study only half of Income Tax Act. Only half of your Income Tax Act is a part of your CA intermediate syllabus. You understood? Now, when you came to class 11 and you started learning, first time in your life, maybe final accounts. So this is probably the journey that you have studied. First thing that you studied was journal entries. Then ledger posting. Now don't say sir, purchase day book, sales book, journal, ledger, everything covered. Converted into trial balance, and from trial balance you prepared something called, you have already reached up to this stage of your life, final accounts, balance sheet, profit and loss account. Correct? After this you have to do two things. You have to calculate your income, because we are learning a tax called Income Tax Act. From our final accounts, from our profit and loss account, we will be able to identify, determine, compute something called our income, and then on that income obviously we will be able to compute tax. This is the journey of learning the income tax law, and the good part is you have already studied till here. So I have to teach you how to calculate income, and on that income how to calculate tax. These two calculations are basically our syllabus. When you are a CA student, this is going to be your journey, and in this journey till here you are already done. ये correct है? But the moment you become a chartered accountant, this is your journey like this. Be prepared for that day also. Sir, I'll explain what is happening. You will get a client. I get so many of my Marwadi clients who are also my relatives. They come and tell me, sir, this year I want to pay 10,000 rupees tax. So for getting 10,000 tax, how much should be the income? For that, what should be the profit in my profit and loss account? Arey yaar, the profit is too less. Okay, cash account debit to sales account. Arey sir, the profit is too high. Okay, telephone expense account debit to cash account. Means we start here, and to adjust this, we create this. We follow the exact process, but in reverse order. We start with the tax ka figure and accordingly pass journal entries. But as a CA student, obviously, you have studied till here and you have to learn two things, and this law will teach you the calculation of those two things. The main part of your syllabus is calculation of income and calculation of tax. So let us see, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have as far as the Income Tax Act is concerned. The Income Tax Act enacted in the year 1961 will come into force from 1st day of April 1962. 1961. Anybody here who was there? I was also not there. 61. I was also not there. If I am not wrong, as far as my maths goes, I don't believe any of your parents were also there, unless you are the youngest of 10-15. No? How your parents also cannot be there, because my father's year of birth is 1960. My mother's year of birth is 64. My mother turned 60 this year. So I don't believe that your parents. No? My mother was not there when Income Tax Act was enacted. Grandparents? Mine were also there. Obviously, parents were almost there, so grandparents had to be there. No? As if grandparents did not take place after parents. Scientifically not possible. We are not interested in the year of enactment, but for general knowledge purposes, Contract Act 1872. You never use that 1872. But you still need to know. So Income Tax Act enacted in the year 1961, like any other law. Like any other law. This law is also divided into sections. So section 1 is going to give us something called title and commencement. This act will be known as the Income Tax Act 1961. It will come into, it is in force in 6 decades. So, no use anywhere. Section 2 in any law, from any law, gives us something called Section 2. Here also Section 2 has given us. Sir, but we are not going to sit and learn all the definitions here. We don't have to sit and learn all the definitions. Sir, as we proceed in the chapter, we need some definition for a particular chapter. At that time, we will learn the definition. For example, we have a chapter capital gains. That chapter says that this chapter will come only if your asset is a capital asset. So, what is the definition of capital asset? That is given 214. So, when we do that chapter, we will learn this definition. We don't have to learn the definitions at one place. We have to learn the definitions as we proceed in our syllabus. As and when we proceed in our syllabus, we will learn the definitions. So, right now we don't need it. Section 3 has given us definition of something called previous year. You write it and ignore it like Modi ignores Kejriwal. Ignore it. It is of absolutely no use right now. When it will be required, it will be taught to you. And all eyes, all attention here, please, ladies and gentlemen. Section 4 of the Income Tax Act, give it as many stars as you want. This is that one statement that you will have to start. You will have to sit and revise every day. This is going to lay down the roadmap of your syllabus. This is going to decide what you have to learn in this syllabus. We call it the charging section. This is that section which says, hey, do you have income? Dead people, you need to awaken them at regular intervals. Do you have income? Then pay tax. Who said that? Section 4. Section 4 is that section which makes people having income liable for a tax called income tax. See, what is this law? You have income, you pay tax. You have income, you pay tax. But who says that you have income, so you pay tax? Charging section. Section 4 says you have income, so you pay tax. Written where? Given where? Section 4. Here goes the statement of Section 4. This is one sentence. One big sentence. I am dividing this one sentence into small parts for understanding purposes. And I will write each part in one line. So, for example, the first part says, income tax is payable. This cannot be a sentence. This is only a part. First part, first line says what? Income tax is payable. Second line says, by every person. So, let's now try and understand. We are learning the statement of the charging section part by part. What do you have to pay? Tax. Income tax. You don't have to give your income to the government. Please understand. You give only a part of your income to. What world are you living? Whatever I earn, I will give to the government. Bhagavad Gita is going on here. क्या लेकर आए थे, क्या लेकर जाओगे, तुम्हारा क्या था जो चला गया. Bhagavad Gita का ज्ञान we are not giving anyone. You have to give only a portion of your income, and that portion is called income tax. When we say a portion of your income, you have to give. You. Every person has to do this. Everyone. When do you have to do this? You have to do this in each something called assessment year. Give me a couple of minutes, I'll explain what this means. You have to do this in something called assessment year. Sir, what do you mean by assessment year? See, India follows financial year system. So, you will earn income from April to March. Now, when you are earning the income during this period from April to March, You have the brain to understand that you will not be able to calculate your total income during the year. You will not be able to calculate. Why, sir? Because other part of the year also you will earn income, that also has to be taken. Bro, or let me make you understand it like this. 31st March morning also you cannot calculate your income. Because morning you calculate and afternoon you earn some income. So it will change your figures. You will have to wait for the year to get over. You will have to wait for the next year to commence. Once you are in the next year, do you understand? Now you can't have new income for this year. Of course, you can have new income for the same year, but at least for the year which is over, you can't have new income. Matlab, when I am in this year, can I calculate income for this year? The word assessment means calculation. So, when I earn income in this year, at that time I cannot do any kind of assessment. I will have to wait for the next year to start, and therefore the next year will be called assessment year. So, I will calculate year and I will pay my taxes also year. Do you understand? And therefore the next year is known as my assessment year. So, what do we have to pay? Income tax. Who has to pay? Every person. When do you have to pay? So you understand what, who, when, everything ka answer we are getting here. Income tax is payable by every person. When? In the assessment year. On what? Obviously income tax will be paid on the income. Income tax will be paid on the income tax will be paid on income only. No? Correct? No. No. You have to pay income tax on your total income. Income tax department is not a daily wage worker. You can't be having income on 1st April and before going home in the evening you go to income tax department. Knock, sir, 1st April ka tax. Take it. Tomorrow I will come again. Today's income, today's tax. Income tax is not payable on your daily income, weekly income, monthly income. Income tax is paid on your total income of the entire year. In fact, total income from multiple sources. This law is not going to teach us how to earn income. That is your own talent. But there are so many ways in which you can earn income. After qualification, you work for some organization, you get something called salary. You start your own organization, you'll get profits in your business. You make investments, you buy properties, so properties will generate for you something called rent. You buy shares, shares will generate dividend. You buy debentures, the debentures will generate interest. You keep money in bank account, saving or FD, so again there will be interest. Income can come in various forms. We don't have to pay separate tax on salary, separate on dividend, separate on interest. We have to pay tax on total of the entire year. Salary in April, dividend in December and rent in March. We will take the total. Full years total, and therefore income tax is not paid on income. Income tax is paid on total income. No sir, wrong. Income tax will be paid on taxable total income, because whenever you earn income, that income can be of two types. That income on which the government wants tax, that income on which the government does not want tax. There can be some income which you have won, but government does not levy tax on that. Give an example now. Agriculture, you already know that in today's first lecture itself, agriculture income, is that an income? But it is not taxable. So when I take my total, I took salary, I took rent, I took dividend, I also have agriculture, but I will not take that in the total. Or by chance I have already taken the total, then I will minus the agriculture kind. Because income tax is paid on taxable income. We have to remove not taxable. Now listen, not taxable is casual way of saying. And I don't want you to learn casual language. First day only I want you to learn technical language. The correct terminology is exempt income. Income which is exempt from levy of tax. So any income on which government does not want tax, we will stop. No, you don't call it only. First day only learn correct things. We will not call it non-taxable income. We will call it exempt income. So from your total, remove your exempt income. So you are left with income tax is paid on taxable total income. So from total we remove agriculture. But then salary, dividend, rent, we take the total, not individual. So taxable total income. Is that clear? Wait. Income tax is not paid on this also. Income tax will be paid on something called net taxable total income. The term, ladies and gentlemen, is NTTI, net taxable total income. Please understand. First we took the total. So we got this. From that we removed agriculture. So we got this. The total that we get now, everyone listen to this, is called gross total income, GTI. We don't have to pay tax on gross total income. Listen to this carefully. Only oral explanation is good enough. These chapters will be taught to you. Our government wants to encourage us to make certain investments. Our government says that please buy life insurance. With that, you will be able to secure your family if you are the only earning member. If you die, so they will be dependent on us, which no one wants. But how do you get life insurance? By paying some premium. Is that a personal expense? That is not an expense that you have incurred for earning income. Even in final accounts, you don't debit to P&L. No, you debit it as drawings. But we will allow you to minus this amount from your taxable income as encouragement to safeguard your family. So life insurance premium, medical insurance premium, if you have given donation to any charitable trust, these amounts government wants to encourage you to spend, and anything that you spend will be reduced from the amount on which you have to pay tax. So the total that we have taken till now after removing exempt income is going to be called gross total income. But from gross total income, when we subtract these amounts, they are known as deductions. So we will get something called net taxable total income. Income tax is payable by every person in each assessment year on the net taxable total income. On what? Net taxable total income that you have earned during the previous year. Now please understand. This is very confusing, and first day is the best day to understand. In CA, first attempt is the best attempt. So please understand. Sir, in income tax law, my current year is called my previous year. Sir, why? Sir, please understand. If I am earning, right now I cannot calculate. Do you understand? Because right now I will focus only on earning, and even if I calculate, my calculation will change. 31st March also I cannot calculate. I will be able to calculate only when the next year starts. When I am on 1st April year, can I calculate for this year? And therefore this year is known as. So do you realize the time at which you are assessing, this year has already become previous. You are assessing yourself for the year which just got over, and therefore we call it the previous year. Means earn income in one year, calculate in the next year. The year in which you are earning income, that has become previous by the time you go to calculation, and therefore the calculation year is called assessment year, and the income year is called previous year. Earn in one year, calculate in next year. When you calculate your income and pay your tax in the next year, at that time that year is called assessment, and the year for which you are doing your calculation will be called previous year. So income earning year will be called as previous year, and calculation and payment of tax year will be called as. So earn income in the, pay tax in the, earn income in the, pay tax in the. So what is to be paid? Income tax. We have to pay income tax, which is a portion of our income. Everyone has to pay. On what do we have to pay this? Net taxable total income that you have earned during the previous year, and tax will be paid in the assessment year. You understood? Everyone, raise your hand straight up, all those who have understood this. Without bending elbow. Don't come from tomorrow. Because पागल लोग, मलयालम में बोलूं, पोट्टन. This is bus done. If you have understood, if you are saying that you have understood this, you don't need to come to class from tomorrow. Because understanding this is your syllabus. What do you mean by person? What is a person? Who is a person? You mean you and me? No, no, sir. It can be company also, it can be firm also, it can be LLP also, it can be anybody. Previous year assessment year, we have spoken orally. 1 year, previous year, next year assessment year. But in writing, we have not done this. We do everything in writing. And ladies and gentlemen, this, which income is taxable, which income is exempt? How will you solve a question without knowing that? Whatever is taxable also, how to calculate that? And once you calculate the income, on that income, what are the rates of tax in our country? We have to learn all this. And if I teach you all this, syllabus will get over. Teaching this charging section is your syllabus. This is your syllabus of 18 chapters. With one last line, which I am changing the color of the ink because charging section has not said that. It is written in the income tax law only, but not written in section 4. And therefore, I just want to add this line that whatever calculations I am doing above, if you observe carefully, I am doing calculation of two things. Sir, what two things? Income and tax. Income and tax. That calculation depends on something called residential status and scope of total income. I will explain what this means, not the chapter. I'll tell you what. When I'm saying depends on residential status and scope of total income, that's my second chapter, bro. The name of my chapter is residential status and scope of total income. So how do I explain something in 2 minutes which I am going to explain in a full chapter? Obviously, we will be doing it very soon. Second chapter only. We just have to finish our basic concept. First chapter is basic concept. I'll tell you this also, that person का definition, previous year का definition and assessment year का definition I will finish in the first chapter itself. This residential status and scope of total income wala part is my second chapter. So one thing, do you realize that this sentence has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts, and out of 6 parts, 4 are over at second chapter. 3 definitions and residential status. Bro, to learn calculation of net taxable total income NTTI, there are 9 chapters. 9 chapters only to teach you one thing. Chapter number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 9 chapters. Then after that, income calculation. After income calculation, what do you have to do? 3 chapters only to calculate tax. 12, 13, 14. 9 chapters to calculate income. 3 chapters to calculate tax. Sir, still only 14 done. Now this sentence is over. Sir, what are the remaining 4? Total 18 we have, no? The tax that we have calculated. We have to do 2 things to this. One, we have to tell the government that, sir, this is my income. See, government does not know. They are not coming and checking every day. So that communication chapter, that is a chapter called return filing. I'll talk about it. And second, you saying, sir, this is my tax. Oh, sir, this is my tax. Fine, fine, nahi pay. So there are 2 chapters for collecting that tax from. Calculation is over. Now you communicate and they collect. We have about 2-3 chapters for that. Total 4 chapters we have. We have something called advanced tax, TDS, TCS, return filing. We'll learn those chapters. But main part of your syllabus is these 14 chapters, and out of 14, 9 chapters are for calculation of income and 3 chapters are for calculation of tax. Believe me, in the 3rd or 4th lecture, residential status scope of total income will get over. Matlab first chapter will to get over tomorrow itself. Person PY AY over. 4th lecture mein second chapter will get over. And in the 4th lecture, I will tell you syllabus is over. In the 4th lecture, I will tell you syllabus over. Only 2 things left. Only 2 things. Which 2 things, sir? Calculation of income and calculation of tax. Syllabus over. Only 2 things left. Calculation of income and calculation of, but that is going to take 2 months now. And sir, you have understood a little bit about all the first 5 parts which are written in section 4. But what about this last part? Sir, what is this? Just couple of minutes on this, and then of course this explanation will continue tomorrow. Just a couple of minutes. See, supposingly I am in India. I am earning in India. Staying in India, earning in India. Do I have to pay tax? Yes. Stupid question. Of course, yes. Supposingly, Donald Trump won the election. Who was the president before him? Joe Biden. Biden. He is now staying in America, retired, settled, and staying there, earning there. Silly question if I ask you also. Does he have to pay tax in India? No. So, Indian earning in India is not even a question. Foreigner earning in his country, also not a question. Obviously, first guy has to pay, second guy does not. But there are two in-between situations. For example, an Indian goes outside for earning. Indian cricket team is in Australia now. Border Gavaskar Trophy. क्या condition it is? Yesterday, as far as I remember, it was horrible. कि बस anytime we can lose. No problem. They have gone there. They are Indians going outside to earn. They will work in Australia. They're working in Australia. They'll earn money and come. Question is, do they have to pay tax on this? Don't give the answer. You know what is the answer? Second chapter. That chapter will tell us that this income which the team will earn because they are outside India. See, if they are earning in India, they have to pay tax. But outside ka income, will it be taxable or no? That second chapter will give us the answer. If the second chapter says yes, so I have to include their income in NTTI. And if the chapter says no, so I will exclude. Now you understand this statement. And other way around is also possible. No, for example, a foreign cricketer came to India. Last batch, no, I took the risk of asking the batch. I asked the girl sitting on first bench. I said, you give me an example. Foreign cricketer who came to India. She took example of Virat Kohli's favorite cricketer. Ben Stokes. See, now the whole batch calls her Ben Stokes. They don't explain each other. Otherwise, the fun is lost. Virat Kohli's favorite cricketer is Ben Stokes. He calls every cricketer Ben Stokes. Poor girl. Pogo dekho, beta, go home, watch Pogo. He comes to India, bus. He comes to India. Now this time it's a foreigner coming and earning here. Does he have to pay tax? Both answers will be given in the second. See, Indian earning in India, yes, he has to pay tax. Foreigner earning outside India does not have to pay tax. But Indian going outside or foreigner coming in India, these two questions ka answer hidden in the second chapter. If the answer is taxable, we will include. If the answer is not taxable, we will exclude. And which is why the statement depends on residential status. This is your syllabus. This is what I have to teach you over the next 2 months. The charging section, you write it at some place where you are able to go through it regularly every day. Because every day when you feel, sir, kab khatam hoega? Sir, when will it get over? Sir, when will it? Sir, when this section will get over, your syllabus will get over. 6 things I have to teach you. 6 lines I have made if you understand. 5 are written in section 4. The 6th is written in the next chapter. That is section 5, section 6. If I teach you 6 things, syllabus will get over. And out of 6, 4 will get over in the 4th lecture. 3 will get over tomorrow. 4th lecture mein 4 will get over. But then, calculation of income and tax, never ending, never ending, never ending. Is that clear? So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for your time, energy, patience and